Right. Day 5, I think, right. So today we have lined up a very important lecture for you all. So this is not an ordinary lecture. This is actually for you know, make you a knowledgeable intern and make you survive during internship. So there are a lot of complaints and investigations and litigation going around due to like many defaults or activities. I mean your procedures, what you perform during the internship. So we thought to update you of the latest guidelines and all that. Since you all don't encounter these instructions and details during your medical career, undergraduate career. So we have got a very important, very senior consultant in medical administration, Dr. Dilantha Dharmagunawardana. He's a former director training and director medical services and and RDHS Mathara, now currently residing, doing a PhD in Australia. So with greatest difficulty, I got sir to do this lecture. So it's a very important lecture. I assume out of all the internship training, I mean, you all can read most of the drug doses and all that in a BNF or in the Google. But this today's knowledge is very vital, and we are very thorough with that attendance also. We will monitor 3 times in Google Sheets. So I hope all you will follow and get the best out of this lecture. And thank you, sir, for agreeing to deliver this special lecture for the interns. I hope they will get the fruits out of this. Over to you, sir. Can you
hear? Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Prashant, for that introduction. This lecture will be consist of 3 main parts. One thing, firstly, I will give you some pre-introduction to Sri Lankan health system. Then we will go into some administrative aspects of internship, leave, personal files, and those things. And third part, what administrator expect from an intern. So those are the 3 main sections. And in the middle, we will have some knowledge check in addition to what Dr. Shan's attendance marking, and additionally, we will have some break as well in the midway. So thank you for joining us, almost 500 participants, encouraging to see that, Prashant. Yeah, so thank you very much for joining, and I'll start my presentation now. One thing, yeah, just okay. Then outline of my presentation. Initially, I will discuss about the Sri Lankan health structure and the health system with very brief introduction to primary health care. So that then we will go into some administrative aspects of the internship, that is rules and regulation, disciplinary matters, leave, confirmation and promotion. And the third part will be that administrative perspective of the internship, what administrators expect from an intern. Yeah, if you just a brief overview of what is a structure and what is a system. Structure is how tasks and responsibilities are allocated, coordinated, and supervised to achieve organizational aims. This is just a simple definition you don't need to remember, so that I can start my lecture with a clear guideline. It's simply how the responsibilities are divided from top of the Ministry of Health down to the grassroots level. That is the structure. System means the collection of all institutions, people, and activities which are targeted in promoting, restoring, and maintaining health. So there's a difference between what is a structure and what is the system, just for you to have a brief idea of 2 different terms. Then if you go into the administrative structure of Sri Lanka, current administrative structure in Sri Lanka comes from the decentralization, 1987. This is the 13th Amendment of Constitution, which is a favorite and popular amendment, which is after this, where central ministry and provincial system of administration has begun. So, according to the Constitution itself, the tasks and responsibilities are allocated to central ministry and the provincial system of administration. And in the provincial list of administration, provincial of task, in the tasks that allocated to provincial councils are marked by specified by the Constitution itself, and tasks reserved with the central ministry is called as reserved list, and where both the entities can do certain which are termed as concurrently. So in the provincial council task or the provincial council list, it's they are listed with the responsibility of management of primary and secondary level hospitals and public health, the grassroots level public health. We will describe what are these primary, secondary, and tertiary levels when we come to the system. And then there is a reserved list where reserved tasks and responsibilities, where the professional occupations, professional training is lies with the reserved list, where the central ministry is responsible, like the training, for example, the universities and the training part, the professional trainings are mostly lies with the central ministries. Then the concurrent list, where both parties can perform these tasks, like control of drug regulations, where there are food and drug regulations, where central ministry as well as the provincial council will be able to do that. So this is how the tasks and responsibilities are divided according to the Constitution itself. Then if you take the organization, as I've told you, there's two main structural elements in our health system. One is central ministry, one is provincial ministry. The central ministry level, the highest person will be the Honorable Minister of Health, down to the Secretary of Health. Then there will be a Director General of Health Services, and parallel to that, there will be additional secretaries, and then come to the Deputy Director General of Health Services. For example, your internship will be given by the Medical Services 1, who is the DDG Medical Services, Deputy Director General Medical Services 1. And when you're after the finishing internship, you will come to the DDG Medical Services 2 for your post-intern appointment. So the task of you being allocated to the health system lies with the Medical Services 1. The post-intern task, post-intern appointments lies with the Medical Services 2. So that's how the task and responsibilities are divided. So then it under the DDG, so the Deputy Director Generals of Health Services, there are directors of units and programs of the line ministry. For example, your internship appointments will be given by Director Tertiary Care Services, and once you complete the internship, you will be your post-intern appointments will be given by Director Medical Services, and the administrative matters, personal files, and those things will be handled by Director Administration Medical Services. So like that, the tasks and responsibilities are divided like that in relation to internship and medical officers. Then once you become administrator or a consultant, you will again allocated to Director Tertiary Care Services under DDG Medical Services 1 for your administrative matters. So like that, the things will be allocated and divided according to that. Then, other than the directors of units and programs of the central ministry, there will be certain directors which are working outside the central ministry, physically outside the main central ministry, and those are the directors of teaching hospitals, specialized hospital, provincial general hospitals, and district general hospitals. So, for example, when you go to after you get the internship appointment, once you go to a teaching hospital, once you go to a provincial general hospital or district general hospitals, they will be manned by, they will be the leader, given the lead by the directors of their respective heads of institutions. So the management of the overall management of the particular hospitals is by that relevant directors. So that's another type of director you will encounter during your internship and post-internship. Then there will be certain base hospitals under the line ministry, and base hospitals are usually governed by the medical superintendent, such as Bay, Ruwala, and Nakkarepattu. Those hospitals are governed by the medical superintendent. Now we go to the organizational structure of the provincial ministry. Go to the organizational structure of the provincial ministry. All the provincial councils are not dissolved. Ideally, the provincial councils will be headed by the provincial minister of health, and then under him there will be provincial secretary of health, and in close resemble to the director general of health services at the provincial council or the department head. Actually, the director general of health services is the department head. The department will commence from the director general of health services, and the additional secretaries and secretaries are from the minister of health. So downwards to the director general of health services is the department of health. And similarly here, the provincial director of health services is the head of the provincial department of health services, and under him there will be district director or regional director of health services. For the provincial director of health service, there will be 9 provincial directors resembling the 9 provinces in Sri Lanka, and then there will be district director general of health services, who is there will be 26 district director of health services. If someone can put into the chat box why there is 26 directors of health services, if someone can mention that, it will be good. But however, yeah, let's see why there are 26. There are only 25 districts. Thank you. Good guess. But there are 25 districts, but there are 26 directors of health services, district directors of health services. Why is that? There are 25 districts. Administratively, there are 25 districts, but there are 26 directors. Only in the Ampara administrative district, no, good guess. It's the Ampara administrative district is divided into 2 health districts. That is, Ampara is divided into Kalmune and Ampara. There will be Kalmune district director of health services and Ampara district director of health services. For the, yeah, Kalmune is the correct answer. That is Hemapriya. Good. Kalmune has a separate district director of health services, which is in the Ampara administrative district. Good, thank you. Then we'll go into the structure of the district director of health services. Under district director of health services, there will be certain curative sectors and preventive sectors, and the office of the regional director of health, district director of health services. So there are provincial level curative sector institutions. There will be sorry for that. There will be 3 arms, like there will be curative provincial sector institutions, preventive provincial sector institutions, and office of regional director of health services. Within that, there will be some people working there. So curative sector provincial health institutions, there will be district general hospitals and base hospitals. For example, Matale District General Hospital is under the Central Provincial Health Ministry, and most of the northern provincial district general hospitals are within the provincial health ministries, like Mullaitivu District General Hospitals, Vavuniya, Kilinochchi, then Mana DGH, all these district general hospitals are within the provincial council. Then most of the base hospitals, on the other hand, most of the base hospitals are under the provincial health ministry. There will be a lot of base hospitals are under the curative sector of provincial health institution. Then there will be certain units under the provincial councils, such as district chest clinic, district STD clinics, and they will be managed by medical officers of in charge, like that we call medical officer in charge of chest clinic or medical officer in charge of STD clinic. Those are the specialized units. Then there are certain divisional hospitals under the provincial councils, provincial health system. They are divided into divisional hospitals A, B, and C, and then medical officers. Now they are called actually medical officers of in charge or the district medical officers. And other thing, there are primary medical care units. Those are the curative sector institutions. I will tell what are how these institutions are categorized in our health system section. Basically, there are curative health institutions under the provincial health system, provincial ministry. Then if you comes to the preventive health section, there are medical officer of in charge specialized unit, like district tuberculosis control officer, who will be handling TB control activities. Then there are regional malaria officer, regional filaria officer, those who will be handled respective specialized campaign, like control of filaria, control of malaria, control of tuberculosis, like that. And additionally, there will be medical officer of health officers, who is the grassroots level control of preventive health institutions. So those is other outside the district director of health services will be people who will be managing the health system of provincial system. And within the district director of health services, there is a administrative arm and the preventive arm. And administrative arm will be controlled by, it will be managed by the medical officer planning, accountant, administrative officer. Accountant is the person who is handling the financial matters. Administrative officer who is handling the like administrative and establishment matters of the institution. Then there is a regional medical supplies division with chief pharmacist and other staff who is handling the medical supplies. So that is the administrative part of the district director of health services. And there is a preventive arm, preventive sector, which is composed of medical officer, maternal and child health, including regional supervising public health nursing assistant and her staff, who will be handling this maternal and child health component. Then there will be a regional epidemiologist at every district who will be in the control of communicable diseases, especially during COVID activities. They have done enormous job to control COVID-19 pandemic. And at the same time, there will be medical officer non-communicable diseases who is handling control of non-communicable diseases at the district level. Additionally, there will be regional dental surgeon, food and drug inspectors, health education officers, and public health inspectors who is handling leprosy babies and those things. So that is basically the structure at the provincial health system, how the tasks and responsibilities are supervised, coordinated, and allocated. So that is the basic structure of the preventive, the provincial health system. So within that, after that, we will come to the individual organizational level, individual institutional level. What is the organization structure? So once you allocate it to an institution, you will be, this will be the basic institutional structure. Within the institution, how the structure is divided. Then the head of the institution will be, depending on the type of institution, the director, medical superintendent. If it is a primary institution, that will be a medical officer in charge. So that is basically the head of the institution. In his absence, it will be headed by Deputy Director, Deputy Medical Superintendent. Then the staff will be mainly categorized into these type of staff. If you take wards, the technical head of the ward is consultant. Or if you take the OPD like unit, the head is the medical officer in charge of the OPD or medical officer in charge of the respective unit. So consultant in the wards will be. Just wait a moment. Sorry for that. Roshan, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Can hear.
Okay.
Can hear, sir.
Okay. So then the consultant will be the technical head of the ward. He will manage the certain the technical part of the ward. So under him there will be either SHOs or medical officers, and under them there will be intern medical officers. So that is your part in the organization structure, where you will be part of the hospital team under a SHO, under a consultant. So if it comes to the unit like OPD, there will be medical officer in charge. When it comes to the nursing services, the matron or special grade nursing officer is the unit head of the who is in charge of nursing services, and under the special grade nursing officer or matron, there will be a sister in charge of units, ward sisters or ward masters, and under him there will be nursing officers or midwives. That is how the nursing services is taking part. And then comes to the PSM categories. PSM means professional supplementary to medicine. So they composed of MLT or medical laboratory technologists, radiographers, physiotherapists, and pharmacists. Dispensers are not belong to the PSM categories, but they are paramedical category, but they will be overlooked by the chief pharmacist. That's why I put it there. So basically the PSM categories, so the professional supplementary to medicine, the categories are medical laboratory technologies or MLTs, radiographers, physiotherapists, and pharmacists. Other than that, there will be radiotherapist, radiotherapist and occupational therapist and speech therapist. Those are the other three categories which are not mentioned here. They are also belongs to the PSM categories. Then there's another category of staff called paramedical officers. Sinhalen PSM අයට කියන්නේ පරිපූරක වෛද්‍ය, paramedical කට්ටියට කියන්නේ අතුරු වෛද්‍ය. So there will be a paramedical staff who is EEG technician, ECG technician, or cardiographers, and also dispensers comes to this category. That is අතුරු වෛද්‍ය paramedical categories of staff. Then comes to the clerical staff, who is the administrative officer, is the head of the clerical staff, who is manning this establishment divisions and administrative division. So AO is the administrative officer, is the head of the clerical staff. Under him there will be chief health management assistant and health management assistant. So that is the clerical staff. Then there will be a semi-skilled category, which is also manned by the administrative officer, the drivers, telephone operators, dial stewards, ward clerks. There are many categories belongs to that part, where these are called semi-skilled categories of staff, and they will directly supervised by administrative officer again. Other than, at the same time, there will be an accountant who is looking after the financial section of the hospital. Your salaries, increments, payments, everything will be handled by accountant and his team of clerical staff. There will be a separate chief health management assistant to the financial section, and there will be a storekeeper as well to manage the store. So that is the financial section. And then there will be a supportive staff section. The head of the supportive staff again comes to the administrative officers, and under him, the immediate head of the supportive staff is overseer, and under him there will be attendants and health assistants who will be basically doing hospital work. So this is the ground level or the basic organization structure at the institutional level. Then that is the how the tasks and responsibilities are divided, allocated, and supervised to achieve health related goals from central ministry to from the Minister of Health down to the grassroots level institution. This is how tasks and the responsibilities are divided and allocated. Additionally, I will tell you some brief things about preventive health sector in coming slides. Now we go to the curative health system. Curative health system, administrative system. That is how, this is how the classified, the classification of what do you call the people, activities, institutions, how the classification is done in Sri Lankan system. How the classification is done, how people, how the activities, and how the people, activities, and institutions are classified. Basically, there are two classifications, curative and preventive. Under the curative sector, there are these hospitals: National Hospital of Sri Lanka, National Hospital Kandy, which are sort of the biggest healthcare institutions in Sri Lanka. Totally up to base hospitals, these are categorized according to the number of specialty available in each institution. For national hospitals, there will be most number of specialties will be there. The teaching hospitals, these are affiliated to the universities. Most of the teaching hospitals are affiliated to the universities. For example, if you say Rajarata University is affiliated to Anuradhapura Teaching Hospital, if you say Karapitiya Teaching Hospital is affiliated to the Ruhuna Medical Faculty, like that, the teaching hospital is affiliated to the respective university for teaching purposes. So that is the characteristic of teaching. If you come to the provincial general hospitals usually located in provinces where there are no teaching hospital. For example, now only there is only one provincial general hospital in Sri Lanka, because the only province that there is no. Can you put it to the chat box? What is the province where there is no teaching hospital or either university, medical faculty? Can you name? It's the only province that has no. Yeah, Badulla. Yes, correct. Yeah, province Badulla. Badulla is currently the only provincial general hospital in Sri Lanka, because recently Ratnapura Provincial General Hospital was upgraded to a teaching hospital because of the Sabaragamuwa Medical Faculty, and Kurunagala Provincial General Hospital was upgraded to a teaching hospital because of Wayambai Medical Faculty. So good. Then it comes to the district general hospitals. Usually there is one district general hospital per district, but this is not mandatory. For example, for Gampaha district, there will be two district general hospitals like Nigambu and Gampaha. So usually there will be one district general hospital per district. Like Mullaitivu District General Hospital, Vavuniya, Mana, Matale District General Hospital, Kilau for Puttalam, like that the list is goes on. So then it comes to the base hospitals. Base hospital is the lowest level where the consultants are available. The lowest level where the consultants are available. So up to the base hospitals only the consultants will be there. So because of that, basically the up to base hospitals, these hospitals are categorized according to the number of specialties available, and it is available in the hospital recategorization circular. Hospital recategorization circular, if you want, I can share about. There's a one question about Kurunagala. Kurunagala was recently, I think, upgraded to a teaching hospital because of the Vyama medical faculty, but there are some controversies, so it is a plus or minus. I don't want to comment about that one. But if you go to the hospital recategorization circular, you can get the information about how these hospitals, what are the specialties available in each of these hospitals. Then comes to the primary level, divisional hospitals. There are three types of divisional hospitals. Divisional hospitals are the only institutions where inward patients are there without consultants. So they are categorized into type A, type B, and type C according to the number of beds. Type A will have more than 100 beds. Type B will have type B will have 50 to 100 beds, and type C less than 50 beds. So this is how divisional hospitals are categorized. And primary medical care units are the lowest curative level institutions in Sri Lanka, where you don't get inward patients, only ambulatory care, either ETU plus OPD care will be provided. Primary medical care units, lowest level of healthcare institutions. So that's how the classification of institutions, personnel, and activities, how the system is categorized. Then, yeah, someone is mentioning TH Kuliapitiya is the TH, Kurunagala isn't still a PGH, agreed. So there are some controversies going on, but still you can consider Kurunagala as a PGH as well. So then preventive sector. In the national level, there are specialized campaigns to man each of the preventive sector, like Family Health Bureau, who is dealing with maternal and child health. Then epidemiology unit for the control of communicable diseases at the national level. Then there are several various campaigns, National Program of Tuberculosis and Control of Chest Diseases, that is NPTCCD. Then for malaria, there will be malaria campaign. So there's a question. So do we still categorize divisional hospitals depend on the beds or number, depend on the number of wards persist? It's number of beds, divisional hospitals. And if there are no wards, they are categorized into primary medical care units. That means this is the usual typical classification. There may be plus or minuses depending on the resources you have, but typically primary medical care units don't have wards and don't have wards and beds. Divisional hospitals will typically have beds and wards. So depending on number of beds, divisional hospitals are categorized. That again, what is the difference between type A and type B? Again, number of specialties. In type B based hospitals, there will be a basic number of specialties will be there. That is gyn and obs, medicine, pediatrics, and surgery. The basic specialties will be they are in a type B based hospital. In type A based hospital, there will be much more specialties. If you want, during the break, I will send you the link for the hospital recategorization circular. You can get the more details about what are the specialization available in at each institution. according to that circular. So basically difference between type A and type B is the number of specialties. Type B, there will be minimum number of specialties, that is medicine, surgery, pediatrics, and gyn and obs. Plus there will be radiology and anesthesia, plus or minus or pathology. So that is the type B base hospital. Again, it is number of specialty. Hope that information. Yeah, type B based hospitals, whether interns are allocated, as far as I can remember, I am not aware of base hospitals with interns. There may be exceptions after. Yeah, I'll send you the link to the recategorization circular to that. Yes, yeah, maybe during my absence from Sri Lanka, they may have allocated interns to base hospital type B as well. But only thing, when you are allocating the interns, it must be approved by the Sri Lanka Medical Council. Then type B base hospital should have minimum number of specialties. I think there should be radiologist and pathologist plus anesthesia, anesthetists, for them to allocate interns to the base hospital. When base hospital, Kuliapitia is no longer a base hospital. Now it's a teaching hospital. When it was base hospital A, definitely there are interns. I am not sure about the base hospital B. Right? Base hospital B is the issue. If there are minimum number of required specialties by Sri Lanka Medical Council, plus there are residential facilities for interns, yeah, that someone is saying that type B Dikkoya is example. Yeah, maybe, yeah. I am not the Dikkoya, there are interns, I know. Dikkoya is a type B based hospital, yes. Usually, yeah, base hospital Maravilla interns also. That time also base hospital Maravilla had interns. So main thing is that for interns to be allocated, there should be minimum number of specialities, like other than this gyn and obs, pediatrics, medicine and surgery. There should be pathologist and radiologist, plus there should be residential facilities. Yes, interns can be allocated to respective type B based hospitals as well. Good for that discussion going on. If you have any questions, if I go beyond this one, you can have send some. Did I make clear? If you want to have any clarifications, if I go beyond this one, you just type it here and send it to me. If you have more clarifications to be done, then I'll go to the preventive sector. As I've told you, there will be special campaigns, Family Health Bureau, Epidemiology Unit, TB campaign, malaria campaign. At the national level, there will be that. Ratnapura Teaching Hospital is the clinical training going on. Yes, I think because there are 2 batches appointed to, maybe they are still in their basic sciences, but Ratnapura Teaching Hospital, I know definitely it has been recategorized as a teaching hospital, but there are no professorial units. Since there are 3rd year and 4th year students now, the clinical training must be going on there. There are 3rd year and 4th year students now. Yes. So clinical training must be going on because of that. Any questions other than that? Wait, I'll have to go to this preventive sector. There is another section. Sorry. There are vertical campaigns at the district level. Then after that, the corresponding to national level campaigns, there are certain similar setup at the district level. For example, malaria campaign will have regional malaria officer at the district level. For TB campaign, they will have DTCO, district tuberculosis control officer at the regional level or district level. Like that, corresponding to the national level specialized campaign, there will be district level units. And at the grassroots level for the preventive health sector, there will be medical officer of health divisions. So any other things you want to know, you can type it there. So these are the basic statistics. The how many teaching hospitals. This is available at the National Health Bulletin, Annual Health Bulletin. Teaching hospital, there will be 2 national hospitals. These are the number of hospitals. Teaching hospitals, 9 teaching hospitals. Specialized teaching hospitals, there are 6, like Cancer Hospital, National Institute of Mental Health, like the National Institute of Infectious Diseases. So there will be specialized and other specialized hospitals which are catering to different the respective disease domains, like National Hospital for Respiratory Diseases, so Valley Chest Hospital, National Cancer Institute, or the Apeksha Hospital for catering for. Yeah, there's a question. What about MOH officers for post interns? Yes, you can be posted to MOH officers during your post intern appointments, and you will be trained. You will be trained in National Institute of Health Sciences. For that matter, you will be given a MOH training. How do we go into preventive category if you want to do so? One thing that I think Dr. Roshan will have a separate lecture on preventive health sector. If you want to go to preventive health category, you can do MSc screening in community medicine. And when you do screening of in community medicine, you can go to the preventive health sector. I mean, if you want to specialize in preventive health sector, but if the MOHs and medical officer of health, MOHs, then DTCO, all these things are open to any other medical officer. If you want to work in preventive health sector, if you want to engage in preventive health sector, any medical officer can work as a medical officer of health, DTCO, regional malaria officer during your post-intern appointment. So that is no issue. Then there's another question, Kagalla Hospital, is this still a teaching hospital? It's again controversy. The board says it's a teaching hospital, but categorically it's a district general hospital. But in the board it says that it's a Shikshana or teaching hospital, but it cannot be considered as a teaching hospital. It's a district general hospital. So are there any questions like that? So this is the type of hospitals in Sri Lanka. There are 49 institutions under line ministry. There are 1,000 institutions in the provincial sector, total 1,100 institutions. And according to number of beds, there are like this 37,000. And you can especially note to see that although I have mentioned there are no beds in the primary medical care units, there are 198 beds. So these are atypical primary medical care units. So there may be 1 or 2 beds in ETUs, and there may be some things in the primary medical care units. Is there salary difference during internship according to the hospital we choose? No, definitely not. The intern salary is the same wherever you work. For that matter, any medical officer, if you are working in a hospital, any medical officer who is at OPD, even at wards, even at any place, that salary will be governed by the grade according to your promotion. I will discuss the promotional grades and confirmation. The only thing that the salary is decided by the promotional grades and confirmation. Only thing that OT extra duty, not the OT extra duty, will depending on number of the hospital you work in post intern. So extra duty will be changed according to the type of work where you work. So other than that, nothing will change. Nothing will change according to your working unit. Nothing will change according to your unit. Then if you come to the primary medical care curative sector, the primary care services, this national hospital, teaching hospital, specialized teaching hospital, specialized hospital, provincial general, district general hospitals up to number 6, they are called tertiary care. Then number 7 and 8, base hospitals, they are called secondary care. 9, 10, 11 and 12, they are called primary care curative sector. So there will be 499 primary medical care units providing ambulatory care with non-specialist medical officer and other staff. And there are 474 divisional hospitals providing inward plus ambulatory care. Ambulatory care in the sense ETUs and OPD services. So I am not going to tell you much about the primary level and primary healthcare. So since there will be separate lecture on this. So simply primary healthcare is an essential healthcare made universally available to individuals and acceptable to them through their full participation and at a cost where community and country can afford. Yeah, very good question. Very, very good question. Nice question. If you want to become DGHS, PDHS, RDHS, do we have to do specialized in ComMed or special exams, or are they politically posted? Sorry, if you had the idea that DGHS is a political appointment, PDHS is or RDHS, so any other administrative post is a politically appointment, don't think that they are politically appointed. They are not politically appointed. If you want to do administration, what the pathway I told about preventive sector is through ComMed. At the moment, if you want to do administration and become RDHS and PDHS or DGHS, you have to do medical administration or community medicine. All the hospital administrative posts are to have hospital administrative post, you must do MSc in medical administration. Now currently the Ministry of Health post, PDHS, RDHS, and those posts are available for community medicine, MSc community medicine graduates as well. But all of the hospital administrative posts are belongs to the MSc administration qualified graduates. But only difference is that there is a deputy administrative grade. I will tell you that in detail when we come to the promotions and confirmation. So until then, please allow me to restrict that question at that level. I will describe in detail the EBA and the promotional grades. I will answer those two questions in that when we come to that part, right? Please allow me to keep those questions. Please raise them during when we come to the confirmation and promotions. I will explain in detail when we come there. So I'm not going to describe in detail the primary care in detail. Basically, primary care can exist in at any level, even in teaching hospital, OPD, if you do health promotion, if you do ambulatory care, if you do primary, OPD services, if you do screening, even at teaching hospital, even you can have a primary level care. So even teaching hospital, you can have a primary level care. That's the basic message I want to give you here. But I am not going to tell you in detail about primary care at level. So primary level, secondary level, and tertiary level, I am not going to describe in detail here. Then when it comes to the preventive health sector, Preventive health sector. Roshan, is there anything?
Sir?
Just tell me when it comes to around 9:10:30.
Sir, we'll have a break at 10:30. Is it okay, sir?
Yes, I'll come. Yeah, just tell me that. So basically, the administrative arm, the preventive health sector at central level, it will be manned by DDG Public Health Services 1 and DDG Public Health Services 2. Under DDG Public Health Services 1, mainly responsible for control of communicable diseases and occupational health, food safety, those things. So mainly those area, epidemiology, malaria, filaria, those disease control activities manned by the Public Health Services 1 DDG. Public Health Services 2, mainly it's related to maternal and child health, nutrition, state and urban health, youth, elderly, health education, those things are manned by Public Health Services 2. So if you comes to the ground level, at the district level, there will be regional level vertical campaigns. At the district level, as I told you, regional malaria officer, regional filaria officer, those people. And at the ground level, there will be 353 medical officer of health divisions. Average population under a medical officer of health is about 60,000 population. Then when it comes to responsibilities of medical officer of health, maternal and child health like antenatal care, postnatal care, immunization, reproductive health, control of communicable diseases, implementation of Food Act, water and sanitation. So water and sanitation, implementation of Food Act, control of communicable diseases is by the public health inspectors. Family planning and maternal health, child health is done by midwives. So additionally, there will be healthy lifestyle centers for control of non-communicable diseases as a part of preventive sector activities. Then we come to the medical officer of health organization structure, briefly described about this. Medical officer of health is the head, assistant medical officer of health will be there. Then at the nursing level, activities for maternal and child health, family planning, for those activities, nutrition, those activities, there will be public health nursing sister, then supervising public health midwives and field health midwives. For the control of food, water, sanitation, and control of communicable diseases, there will be supervising public health inspector and range public health inspectors in that category. For the dental surgeon, for the preventive dental activities, there will be dental surgeon at the adolescent dental clinic and school dental therapies. For the office function, there will be chief health management assistant and health management assistant. For the control of malaria and filaria, there will be public health field officers. Additionally, there will be drivers and health assistant staff as well at the MOH office. So this is the basic organization structure and activities system of the preventive sector of Sri Lanka. So I come to the administrative perspective of internship. So this is the separate sort of lecture. So if you have any questions regarding the structure system, please convey the messages. If not, I will do briefly to the administrative perspective of the internship, and where we'll talk about rules and regulation of the internship. Dental surgeon usually come under regional dental surgeon. Regional dental surgeon and the RDHS is usually the administrative supervision, but there is some control of the dental surgeon is at the MOH as well. So it's sort of a dual supervision for the dental surgeon. Adolescent dental clinic is manned by the medical officer of health. Then are there any questions? So shall we go to this part? So I'll go to this part. I'll discuss rules and regulation of the internship, disciplinary matters, leave during internship, confirmation and promotions during this section. And I will answer the EBA, how to become administrator, everything here. Then rules and regulation of internship. Then rules. So simply internship is considered as a continuation of medical education program of a medical practitioner as per the Sri Lanka Medical Council. And I want to highlight this part also during the internship. If you take leave, leave is a privilege and not a right. May curtailed or cancelled at any time by the authority granting the leave. During internship, leave is considered as lost opportunity to learn because of that. So basically, medical council is considered as continuation of medical education program of a medical practitioner. So you won't be part of the government server. You are not entitled to certain privileges of government servant because it is considered as a training attachment. Right? So what are the basic principles of internship? As I told you, Medical Council reworded this as the internship as pre-registration appointment. So you will be registered, you will be given a provisional registration under section 32. You can be only employed in government hospital. You can issue medical certificates under the name of the institution or the consultant. You are not entitled to practice on your own. You can use the title of a doctor, and you will be given an allowance, not a salary. You will be given an allowance, not a salary. So once after completion of your internship, you will be given full registration under section 29 under Sri Lanka Medical Council Ordinance. You can practice anywhere in Sri Lanka, not only confined to your ward or the government hospital. You can practice medicine and surgery in Sri Lanka after the internship. And you can demand and recover reasonable charges, that is, you can entitle for a salary. Then you can issue medical certificates under your name. Earlier, you can only issue certificates in the name of the institution or the consultant. So during the internship, and when you are provisionally registered, you are not entitled to private practice because you can only employed in government hospital. Only after section 29 of full registration, you are entitled to do private practice, right? So you can use the title as a doctor, you are qualified to sign certain documents, you are considered as expert in the field of courts, and you can store and prescribe narcotics. So you can see the difference between intern with a provisional registration under section 32 and a medical officer who is full registered under section 29. So this is the difference. So one of the advantage of the internship, this is the pathway for you to have the full registration on the Sri Lanka Medical Council with a provisional registration. So that is the advantage. If you have any questions, you can ask now. Then rules and regulation in the internship. Internship is a training attachment and only allowance is paid. Intern is under administrative control of the head of the institution. Intern is under the disciplinary control of the Sri Lanka Medical Council. Then he must be abide by the government regulations, see code, financial regulations, circulars, etc. Residential facilities will be provided free of charge for during the internship. That is one other advantage for interns. All the other government services, government servants has to pay for their residential facilities. Interns are the only category that the residential facilities are provided free of charge. So that is another advantage of internship. Then responsibility of inventories within the residential facilities is live with the interns. Don't get argument with your people saying that inventories are not your responsibility. Should not be engaged in private practice for the same reason. You are registered, provisionally registered under section 29. So you are not only entitled to practice within the government institute. then should not be engaged in private practice, then should be present promptly when requested by ward sister or a nurse, should not manage or give instructions by phone. I am telling you these things because these are the things that we have come across during our career as a medical administrator. We have engaged in a lot of inquiries, disciplinary matters because of these issues. So remember these things. Don't manage or give instructions by phone when nurse asks you to come to the ward. What are the drugs and investigations intern can prescribe? Intern can prescribe any drug, any investigation for the patients within his or her ward. That is, you will be under technical supervision under a consultant, medical consultant. So under that consultant, if there are any patients, you can prescribe. So that is no any investigation under your patients under your consultant, you can prescribe any drug for patients under your consultant, you can prescribe. No, the residential charges cannot be cut from an intern. It is mentioned in the circular itself. The residential facilities should be provided free of charge. So that is a separate, I don't know, maybe an isolated incident if there is a salary was deducted from intern salary. That cannot be happened according to the circular. Right? Maybe some other charges, not as residential charges. Then according to the circular, you should wear a white coat. Then as I told you, you will be administratively under head of the institution. Disciplinary authority will be Sri Lanka Medical Council. Technically, you will be under your medical consultants and senior colleagues. So all these people will be look after or supervise you. And for any drug or investigation, you are totally responsible for the patient management under the assigned consultant. So you can order any drug, any investigation under that consultant if the patient is under the consultant, and technically consultant will be responsible for your actions. I mean, that is the simple message I can give you. Is there any way we can complete the internship in a foreign country? As far as I know, you can't. But I have come across one or two incidents where Sri Lanka Medical Council has given full registration to people who have completed the internship in foreign country. But that totally depends on the Sri Lanka Medical Council, not the Ministry of Health. That's a very specialized, isolated one or two cases I have noticed, but I don't know how they did it. But usually, you can't complete internship in a foreign country. You have to do internship within Sri Lanka, but that question must be you must get the answer from the Sri Lanka Medical Council, not from the Ministry of Health. Then like this, then rules and regulations continues, should maintain a diary. Diary should be endorsed by the consultant and the head of the institution at the end of every month. No, I don't think that consultant should clarify the investigations. You can order your own investigations. Otherwise, I mean, there are maybe specialized investigations like CT scan or CT scan or MRI scan that has to be authorized, or the specialized investigations. There may be certain institutional policies that consultants should be authorized, like blood picture or something like that. Other than that, routine investigations, you are not require consultants' endorsement. that is governed by the institution, but definitely not routine investigations and routine drugs. Maybe a certain type of antibiotics, high in antibiotics, you may require consultant endorsement. Other than that, routine investigation, routine drugs, you don't need consultant endorsement. So diary should be endorsed by the consultant at the head of the institution. You should be physically present from 8 to 12 to 2 to 4. Then rest of the time you should be on call to the unit. Weekend off, you can get a weekend off from 12 noon to Saturday to 8 a.m. Monday. But this is the most important thing, should be ready to present the cases to the consultants in Monday morning. So you must be able to present your cases to the consultant on Monday morning. Even if you come at 8 o'clock, you have to present the cases. Should have a reasonable cover-up duties in the unit with your co-house officers during the weekend. So that is, if you want to take leave or if you want to take weekend off, you should be ready to present the cases by Monday morning and you should have a reasonable cover-up. What do we write in that diary? We will tell you, right? I'll tell you. When it comes to diary, I will tell you. If the internship is extended, the intern is not entitled to any salary or the emoluments or the allowances. If for some reason, if the consultant is not good with you and your internship is extended, if the consultant has not signed your internship certificate, if it is extended, the intern is not entitled to any of the emoluments or the allowances. So this is the circular, most recent circular, last circular. It has spelled out most of the things that I have told you. So you will be getting the same type of document to you as the internship appointment letter. So one of the few important things, these are the rules and regarding private practice, you should be abide by all the relevant circulars within the government sector, and private practice is strictly prohibited. So that is related to rules and regulations and private practice. Leave, you are entitled to 14 days, not more than 2 days taken at a time. I will tell you it in detail when it comes to the leave. Leave should be covered up by a medical certificate if you are taking more than 14 days and approved by the Ministry of Health. If any reason internship is extended, internship is not allowed to take any emoluments for the period. Then allowance and accommodation. This is the answer to your question. The circular itself states that they should be provided accommodation with free of charge. So I don't know why these 700 rupees were cut from the interns. So circular itself says that they should be provided with accommodation free of charge. So I hope that is the answer to your questions. This is the internship circular, the most recent one. So then there are heap of documents will be given to you by the Sri Lanka Medical Council. Read them carefully before you go to the internship. Read the circular, read these guidelines books available given to you by the Sri Lanka Medical Council before you go to the internship. Please note that not a permanent government appointment. Not a permanent government appointment. Yeah, I will tell you about maternity leave when it comes to the leave. I'll tell you. Not a permanent government appointment. So privileges of permanent government employee or probationary period or government employee in a provisional period not be granted for the intern. For example, leave, salary and extra duty. So you will be having only 14 days of leave for the whole year. You can't take it to leave at once. Then you will be given an allowance. You are not entitled for extra duty. So these are the privileges of permanent government employee. So you are not entitled for extra duty. You have to be physically present 8 to 12, 2 to 4. And outside these times you are on call, but you are not entitled for extra duty. But there are some other privileges. Training and lead to full registration with a paid allowance. So you are from section 29 to section 32 and you are full registered once you complete the internship, and residential facilities without any payments. So those are the privileges. Although you are missing certain privileges of government servant, there may be certain other privileges with where government servants won't enjoy. Then the training allowance is paid according to this circular 3/2006. So training allowance will be paid to you. Residential facilities, principal residential facilities will be provided free of charge to all intern medical officers, but this is one of the main requirements considered by the Sri Lanka Medical Council when selecting the hospital for internship. Therefore, residential facilities must be allocated to interns unless there is an inadvertent incident, such as, the head of the institution will arrange certain temporary measures in an inadvertent incident. Private practice is not allowed for the same reason. It's a violation of the law of the country, medical ordinance. So you should only practice under the supervision of consultant under a government institution. Then I'll come to the disciplinary matters. This is clearly spelled out in the number 3 of your internship awarding letter. Their internship will be terminated if their work and conduct during this period found unsatisfactory. They will be required to abide by the regulations of the government establishment code, financial regulation, the departmental rules and regulations of the government, and the orders of the Department of Health Services that may be issued from time to time. Private practice in any form is strictly prohibited to the intern medical officer. So this is the disciplinary matters. I will tell you certain things about disciplinary matters in the next few slides. Maintenance of diary. There are some questions regarding diary maintenance, what to be maintained. This is the one of the commonest method of entangling with a disciplinary inquiry for a medical officer. Even after you passed out as medical officer, this is the most commonest method of entangling into a disciplinary inquiry. So these are the content of the diary. Should be maintained daily, even if there is urgent work. You have to complete it after the work. Diary must be kept in accessible place to the head of the institution. Must be submitted to the head of the institution on first day of every month through your consultant. Must keep 2 diaries, because if one is kept, the one is sent for consultant and head of the institution endorsement, you must maintain the other diary with you. That's why you must keep 2 diaries, right? So these are the content in the diary. First, you need to put the date, place and details of work and on-call duties. Briefly, you must mention into that place, details of work and on-call duties, arrival time, departure time, hours of work, and the signature. So these are the components of the diary. And this must be maintained daily, even after work. Even if you are engaged in urgent work after the work, you need to do this. It must be kept and accessible to the head of the institution, must be submitted to the head of the institution through your consultant first day of every month, and you must keep 2 diaries, as when one is sent for head of the institution endorsement, you must maintain the continuity. I hope the answer to that question is okay. This is a very specific question. If a medical officer with a medical condition, I can't specifically answer that question because during I can tell you only the principle. Where you can get the diaries, once you go to your institution, hospital office will give you the diaries. What are the things we tried? Just mention, say, theater work, ward work, OPD work, or clinic duties. That is enough. Where your place, work at the OPD, work at the theater work. That is enough. Just very, very brief summary is enough, right? You don't need to you didn't need to get a pay. Earlier, we used to mention the BHT numbers. Now that is no longer required, but simply just mention where you work. Where and simply say theater work, operate in theater. Then if you went to the clinic, just set clinic categories. If you do word work, word work. The serious question is this one. If someone suffering from any disease, and if you are unable to complete the full quota of your internship, I think that is a serious consideration, because this is considered as a training attachment. For any reason, if you don't complete your internship period, since it is a training attachment, I am just telling the principle. There may be case by case incident where you need to refer it to the Sri Lanka Medical Council and get the answers. But the principle is that if you miss the training by more than 14 days, you have to repeat the training. That is the principle. If you miss the training for any matter more than 14 days, that is considered as lost opportunity to learn, lost opportunity for training, and any date go beyond 14 days, you have to repeat your internship. So that is the answer to the question that someone has sent to me. Other than that, the humanitarian issues and other things, I can't answer that question other than that. Yes, I'll ask the repeat the internship in the same number of days. I will tell you that one. Jayawardhana Hospital, being a semi-government hospital, there may be certain payments according to your work. Actually, I don't know that situation, but usually, say they are paid according to some activities they are doing. But I really don't know whether the interns are paid that. For example, if you do a delivery, childbirth, they are paid certain amount of extra money. But I don't know whether they are paying it to the interns. You have to get that information from Sri Lanka Hospital. If you want that information, I can ask from the director and get it for you. But it's a specific issue. I actually don't know about whether interns are paid that the activity related fees. Then I'll answer some of the question, the internship question in later slide, right? Then hope that content of the diary is okay. Then we come to the next slide. This is the circular in relation to maintenance of diaries, right? There are specific things. Daily entries, even in urgent work, and the content, date, time, report for duties, type, go off duties, on call duties. It is more appropriate to include some particulars of work that officer performs during the working hours in addition to above entries. Leave and the days off obtained by the officer should also be mentioned. So if you want to take on a leave, mention that leave on the day respective day. So this is the content of the diary should be, how the content should be according to the circular. Then it should be kept in accessible place to the head of the institution. This is again regulation. Then submit to the head of the institution first working day of every month, and daily the head of the institution should endorse his signature. Extremely sorry. 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 I hope that is okay now. The list of reasons which you can hold the internship officially for some duration. Yes. Yeah. You can't keep the diary at the residential place should be accessible within the ward. You have to keep where it is accessible to the head of the institution. So you can't keep it in your residential place according to the circular. Then hold the internship officially. Once your consultant deemed that you are incompetent and you must repeat your internship. That's depending on your consultant, but you can appeal to the Sri Lanka Medical Council for that matter. If you are, if you think that consultant is harassing you, consultant is purposefully harassing you, you can definitely appeal to the Sri Lanka Medical Council as well as to the Ministry of Health. You can definitely do that, but it's totally on consultant discretion that your internship duration lies with. But yeah, now there is a little bit of lengthy process for consultant to do that. So there is a the form which should be filled by the consultant after the internship. He or she needs to mention certain thing beforehand before he or she has to repeat you. So the consultant simply can't at once repeat you just because he's angry with you for some reason. So there is a process according to the internship signing documents. So it's other than that, you can appeal to the Sri Lanka Medical Council as well as Ministry of Health, but definitely it will be a lengthy, cumbersome procedure. That is right. So I'll repeat the diary thing. Diary thing again, I will repeat from this slide. This is circular on diary. The daily entry should be done. More appropriate to include some particulars in the diary. Then it should be kept in accessible place to be submitted to the head of the institution. 2 diaries should be maintained, and any disciplinary action will be taken against the officers who do not comply with the instruction given in the circular. So that's why I told you. These are the important things regarding the diary maintenance. These are some of the examples. I will tell you, this is the commonest type that you will be entangled into disciplinary inquiry. So this is disciplinary inquiry occurred due to that they have not maintained 2 diaries according to the circular. So this is the disciplinary inquiry. In relation to that, I have purposefully concealed the name of the people. So you can see the රාජකාරී දිනපොත් දෙකක් ආදී තිබීදීත් මාසයක් කර මාසයක් වෙන්වෙන් ඒවායේ සටහන් කිරීම සම්බන්ධයි. So this one, the same thing, it has been going into a disciplinary order, 1 day fine. So 1 day fine was issued because of that, because you have he or she haven't maintained 2 diaries. Then this is a disciplinary inquiry occurred to the MOIC of OPD that has not allocated a accessible place for keeping doctor's diary in the OPD. බාහිර රෝගී අංශයේ වෛද්‍ය නිලධාරීන්ගේ රාජකාරී දිනපොත් ලැබීම සඳහා ස්ථානයක් නියම නොකිරීම. So again, disciplinary inquiry was occurred. So you have to keep it in accessible place, and your head of the institution or the MOIC or the whatever the person should name a place to keep the diary. So you can't keep it in your residential place. Then this is again example during internship, post-internship, not obliging to order of the head of the institution. So ultimately this was caused immense chaos to that medical officer just because he was not going to the OPD cover-up duties on the instructions of the head of the institution. So please see, පශ්චාත් සීමාවාසික නිලධාරිය යනු රජයේ සේවය අපේක්ෂාවෙන් සිටින හැකි. ඇයට රාජ්‍ය සේවය තුළ පත්වීමක් ලබා දී නොමැත. එසේ පත්වීමක් ලබා නොදීදී පවා රෝහලේ සේවා අවශ්‍යතාවය මත රෝහල් ප්‍රධානියාගේ ලිඛිත නියෝග සඳහා ලිපියක් බාර නොගනිමි. එහි අභ්‍යන්තරගත අභ්‍යන්තර අනුයුක්ත කිරීමට විරෝධය පාමින් රෝගී සත්කාරක සේවාවට බාධා වන ආකාරයට හැසිරී ඇති බව නිරීක්ෂණය වේ. So you must abide by the head of the institution's legitimate orders. So this is simply asking this medical officer to go to OPD due to service agencies. So since he haven't gone there, a disciplinary inquiry occurred, and ultimately I know he has tried to go behind each and every person, but until I came from the Ministry of Health, her issue was not solved. So ultimately she completed the internship, but her post-intern confirmation, everything was delayed. So that is an example. So he was directed to keep post-internship another 1 year duration. So everything, there are a lot of issues are there. So again, this one, the same thing, not attending to patient emergency when they were requested to do so. Don't try to manage patients with over the phone. වාට්ටු අංක 17 වෙත සීමාවාසික වෛද්‍ය intern medical officer admitted, the patient was admitted to ward 17, not examined more than 5 hours. පරීක්ෂා කිරීමකින් හා ප්‍රතිකාර ආරම්භ කිරීමෙන් තොර නොසැලකිලිමත් හා වගකීමකින් තොරව කටයුතු කිරීම. So you can see I am not telling you this because to make you afraid of the internship, but think this is a very responsible job, responsible career. So don't try to think the person who is coming to your ward as if your own brother, sister, mother and father, and treat them as if you want to treat them. So don't manage patients over the phone. So make sure that you manage the patients very, very carefully as if your own relative. That's the only thing you can do. This is not to make you afraid of your internship. There are very, very few incidents like this. Most intern medical officers have come out of the internship very successfully, but think the patient as if your own relatives and do it, then you won't have any issues. So what is the repercussion of getting a punishment or getting entangled with the disciplinary inquiry? Once the disciplinary inquiry is initiated, you are deprived of all the privileges until the investigation is over. Usually investigation will take about, say, 2 to 3 years. Until the investigation over, you are not entitled for satisfactory service and punishment, and no promotion for 5 years and no car permit for 5 years. So it is, once you entangle with a punishment, no promotion for 5 years, no car permit for 5 years, even after the initiation of disciplinary inquiry, all your privileges is lost until the investigation over. So no promotion, no car permit until the investigation over. If the punishment is granted, you are deprivation of the satisfactory service and no promotion for 5 years and no car permit for 5 years. So this is the severity of the, so this is the disciplinary inquiry pathway. I'm not telling you the details of it, but see how lengthy process is there once disciplinary process is started. It may take 2 to 3 years. So until 2 to 3 years, until the investigation is over, you are not entitled for car permit or you are not entitled for any privileges under the government service. So that is the issue. That is the issue of having a disciplinary inquiry. Again, I am not telling you to afraid you, to make you afraid of the internship, but government servant. But please adhere to these things. So I'll go to the leave during internship. We will have a break within about another 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes. We will have a break after we complete leave and confirmation and promotions. Right? Please give me about 15 minutes to complete these things, and we will have a small quiz, and you complete the quiz within that 15-minute break. So leave during internship, this is important thing. Any leave, arrangement for cover up and approval from the immediate supervisor and head of the institution is a must. Yes. Can we call the consultant when in an emergency? Of course, you can call the consultant at any time, but it's totally depending on the hierarchy. For example, if there are senior registrars and SHOs, and your unit practice is to consult, call initially the SHOs, the senior registrar or the registrar, then you should practice that one. If they are not responding within due period, within a reasonable period, that is perfectly okay. I am totally agree that you directly call the consultant if the SHOs or registrars or the senior registrars is not available and they are not responding. So it's perfectly okay, because ultimately it's the patient life is the most valued, and you should not get entangled into a disciplinary inquiry or unnecessary death of a patient. So perfectly okay if the SHOs, if the registrars or senior registrars not responding in due time, then it's perfectly okay for you to connect the consultant. Then any leave, cover up is a must. You must get approval from immediate supervisor and the head of the institution. Total internship leave is 14 days for 4 years and 2 days per month, except in an illness. So in an illness should be covered by a medical certificate and approved by the Sri Lanka Medical Council. So there's a question regarding some immunocompromised status. So whatever the illness, it should be covered by a medical certificate, which is approved by the Sri Lanka Medical Council and the Ministry of Health. But only thing that whatever the lapse period of more than 14 days, you have to cover, even in a maternity leave. So maximum 2 days in single instance. Any leave for more than 14 days within the relevant appointment must be repeated in full. So even maternity leave, minimum period, 28 days, you must not report in 28 days. So even if you want to come within 14 days, you must not come. Maternity leave, you must take at least 28 days. So maternity leave period minus 14 days is extended. If approved, there will be no change in the merit, but it will affect your grade 2 promotions. The rest of the promotion it will affect, because your date of immediate supervisor is your consultant. Yes, immediate supervisor is your consultant. Although it is mentioned that your merit will not be changed for post-intern appointment, your date of preliminary grade appointment will be changed to a new date where you completed the internship. So your preliminary grade appointment will be delayed and your grade 2 appointment will be delayed. So that grade 2 appointment will totally be delayed and your seniority will be lost because of that. Right? Your seniority will be lost because of that. Say that it is like this. So this is an internship. You should complete by 12 months as usual. If you take maternity leave during the first medical appointments, you are taking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 day, that means about 3 months leave. So after the internship, you will have to complete the 3 months medical appointment after completing your rest of the internship. So your new internship complete date will be on 15th. So your internship, the Sri Lanka Medical Council full registration will be on this day. The Sri Lanka Medical Council full registration date will be on this day, on 15th this month, 15th month. So ultimately your merit, if you get the approval of Medical Council, Sri Lanka Medical Council and the Ministry of Health, your internship merit won't be changed, but your full registration date will be delayed by the Sri Lanka Medical Council. Then that will affect your date of preliminary grade appointment. Preliminary grade appointment will be affected. Ultimately, your grade 2 appointment will be delayed. Right? So I hope you got the message. So ultimately, what I am telling you, being responsible people with higher level of IQ and education, try to delay your pregnancies as much as possible during the internship, because it is a burden to 3 people. One thing, being a pregnant during internship, having a pregnant during internship is a great burden for yourself. Then having a mother with an intern mother is a great burden for your beautiful child. And ultimately, it will be a great burden for the health system and your co-HOs. So what my advice is, being educated, responsible, high IQ people, there are enough and more ways to delay your pregnancies. So don't get pregnant during your internship. So that is my advice, but you can get pregnant. So there are enough and more ways to prevent it. So try as much as possible to delay your pregnancy during internship, because it will affect 3 people: your baby, yourself, and the health system, plus your co-HO. Yeah, no, only more than 2 days. There's a question asking whether half-day leave can be taken. Do you need a medical certificate? No, more than 2 days, you need only medical certificate. You can get half-day leave very easily. If you take more than 2 days leave, you should get a medical certificate, and which is approved by the medical council. More than 2 days only you need medical certificate. I hope this thing is very clear to you, right? Because then full registration date will come to the 50. Right? Then I am not going to tell you about the leave after internship, considering the time. So you can get a heap of leave. I mean, after you complete the internship and become a government officer, there are a whole lot of leave you can get, almost like 3 months leave officially. Right? Yeah. Right. Yeah. Then I'm not going to tell you about this during our post-intern work. Yeah. Leave for convocation simulate setup. More than 2 days only you have to get the approval. So if we can compensate co-HO, can we take leave? Whatever the leave, the principle is this: if you are taking more than 2 days leave, more than 14 days per year, it is considered by the Sri Lanka Medical Council as lost opportunity to learn, and you are not getting adequate training. So that is the principle. Because this internship is a training attachment, when you are not getting enough training with a lapse of more than 14 days, it is considered you are not competent enough. So in that sense, if you are taking more than 14 days leave, you must complete that lapse leave minus 14 days in order to be competent and full registered with the Sri Lanka Medical Council. Yeah, 2 days off including weekend, that of course you can discuss with the consultant and do it. No worries. Overseas travel after internship, no, until you are not entitled for overseas leave until you are confirmed in the service. So you can't get overseas leave until you are confirmed in the service, except for you can collect, there are until 9 months, you are entitled for 2 days leave per month. You can consume these 9 months at once. For 18 days, you can get overseas leave. You can accumulate these 9 days leave per month for 9 months and get them at once with a special approval. So until you are until you are confirmed in the service, you are not entitled for foreign leave. Okay? If you want to go abroad for employment after interns, no, you need to get a resignation and go. No pay leave is approved. No pay leave is not granted even after internship until 9 months. So overseas leave, simply you can't get the overseas leave until 9 months of completion of internship. You have to either get a resign and go. Official approved no pay leave is not granted. COVID days. Whatever the date, if the leave is more than 14 days, it is not, you are not getting the allowance. More than 14 days, you are not getting the service. When we confirm the service, yes, of course, you can get the overseas leave and you are getting a heap of leave you can get. I can't understand this question. What about SHO period duration? Please, I'm not cannot understand the question. Post-intern period, can we get personal leave for 1 to 2? Yeah, one thing, if you can get a resignation from the government service and go abroad, or whatever the thing, for whatever the reason, you can resign and you can come back, and your recruitment to the government service totally depend on the discretion of the Public Service Commission. If the Public Service Commission approved your reappointment to the government service, then you usually, if there is no significant concern, you will be placed bottom in the next post-intern batch and give the appointment. I hope that is clear. You can resign and go. Whatever, even you can spend the leave, you can join the local private hospital, you can go abroad and serve there, whatever the thing. If you are resigned after post-intern period, once you come back, you can join to the government service with the approval of Public Service Commission. If the Public Service Commission is willing to accommodate you for the government service, usually that appointment will be with the next post-intern batch, and you will be placed bottom in the merit list in the next post-intern batch. I hope that thing is clear to you. Then you can't get the no pay leave when we want to go to abroad until confirmation of the service. You have to resign and go. Full registration will be full registration. You have to immediately, date will be backdated. Even if there is SLMC delay, Sri Lanka Medical Council delay, you will be backdated to the internship completion date as the full registration date. Paternity leave is the same as the any leave. Paternity leave, no, paternity leave is only 3 days. You can't get 84 days of paternity leave. Just because spouse is a doctor, you can't get a paternity leave of 84 days. Just after as I explained, you can resign and serve in overseas. But if you, since interns are not without a bond, you can immediately resign and go overseas. And if you go overseas and if you come back to Sri Lanka, then you will be placed under the next lowest merit list in the next post-intern batch, and it will be under the discretion of the Public Service Commission. I mean, there's a question. If we refuse to work as HOs as in pandemic, what will happen to you? You are not following the orders of your head of the institution or the Ministry of Health. Then it is called subordinate subordination of orders, then you will be entitled to, you will be entangled with the disciplinary inquiry, and same thing that happened to that doctor will be happen to you. If the COVID during his work isolate more than 14 days, yes, for any reason, you have to repeat the more than 14 days leave. For any reason, if the more than leave 14 days, it is considered as even chickenpox, even whatever the reason, if more than 14 days, even if it is followed by a medical certificate approved by the Sri Lanka Medical Council, if the leave is more than 14 days, you have to repeat it, because of the same reason, SLMC is considered that you are not impotent enough if you are consuming leave more than 14 days. Yeah. If the extension of internship due to delays of government appointed the next intern, then definitely you will be having the other privileges. You will be paying the extra duty. You will be having the normal preliminary grade salaries. Usually during last batches, if you have extended internship due to government issue, you are paying the preliminary grade medical officer salary with the extra duty. So you won't be penalized for that. Yeah, whatever the reason, even the maternity leave, more than 14 days, if the full registration date is delayed, you will be delayed your internship. So you will be delayed your full registration, you will be delayed the preliminary grade appointment date, you will be delayed the grade 2 appointment date as well. Overseas leave after getting full registration, yes, of course you can. You have to get resigned and go abroad. Repeating, I'll tell you again, entire internship for us a few days. If you take 28 days leave, so you have to repeat the internship by 14 days. 28 minus 14, you have to get repeat. No, thing is that if you, after the internship, if you get the full registration with the Sri Lanka Medical Council, you can go abroad after the internship. That is, of course, after resignation. You are not granted any no pay leave or paid leave. You have to go abroad with the resignation. And once you come back, you have to, if you want to join the government service, then you will be placed to the bottom of the merit list of the next post intern batch with the approval of the Public Service Commission. So I think there are so much of question regarding migration. If a SHO migrate and coming back to Sri Lanka, yes, SLMC registration is valid. Yes, he can work in the private sector. Yes, definitely. If anyone go to abroad, their SLMC full registration will not be compromised. Anyone who goes abroad after resignation of government service, they are still entitled for SLMC full registration if they renew their the registration in due period. Every 5 years, you have to renew your registration. And if they renew the registration and if they are not subjected to any disciplinary by the Sri Lanka Medical Council, for that matter, to the go in abroad, if there is a good standing certificate, if your professional conduct is not compromised, you will have the Sri Lanka Medical Council registration, full registration throughout your career. You will, unless you are entangled with something that compromises your professional misconduct. Right? What are the prerequisite applying for 5 years no pay leave? You have to be confirmed in your service. You have to confirmed in your service to apply for 5 years no pay leave. Once resigned and went abroad, if you return with a postgraduate, no. Yes, even with any foreign postgraduate qualification, if you come back to Sri Lanka, you will be placed in the bottom of the list if you rejoin to the government health sector. And it will be discretion at the Public Service Commission. Whatever the foreign postgraduate qualifications are not entitled to Sri Lankan postgraduate qualification. So you have to get the postgraduate qualification from the PGIM, Postgraduate Institute of Medicine. minimum harm. How can you migrate with minimum harm to our job with the hope of rejoining when come back to Sri Lanka? Just say the only possible way is to be resign. But when you are resigning, please send a letter, official letter to your head of the institution, Ministry of Health, Public Service Commission, and Sri Lanka Medical Council, and inform you are resigning from the government service, and keep a copy of it yourself. But I can't guarantee that will ensure any remedy for you. So you can send a letter, resignation letter, within 2 weeks of resignation, at least within 2 weeks of resignation, before 2 weeks of resignation, send a letter, official letter in a registered post to the head of the institution, Ministry of Health, Medical Council, and Public Service Commission. But despite doing that, I am not guarantee anything that you will be having extra benefit when rejoin the government service. But of course, the Public Service Commission will have some sort of linearity to you, and they will give you permission to rejoin to the government service. But definitely, you will placed at the bottom of the merit list. Can we do repeated days on off Sundays? That is totally depending on your co-HO's availability. You have to do it. You can take repeated leaves on off Sunday, but it's totally depending on your co-HO's availability. Right? I think I will explain a little bit here. So this medical officer has obtained maternity leave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That means 3 months. So he has to repeat the internship 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 fortnight of internship. That is 2.5 months of internship he has to repeat. That is 3 months minus 14 days. And full registration will be at the end of 15 months, 2 weeks. I hope that is clear to you now. Internship, you should wear a white coat. That is mentioned in the circular. The attire. Delaying means have to join with the next batch. Yeah, that's totally depending on the date of post-intern appointment. Within this period, on 14th month, if the post-intern appointments were given, then you are entitled for post-intern appointment because you are not completed your full registration. Then you have to join the post-intern batch in the lower merit list. Yes, definitely with the next batch. If Ministry of Health is given the post-intern appointment on 14th month, and you are not entitled for post-intern appointment because your full registration is still not available, then you have to join the internship post-intern batch of next batch, and you will be placed at the bottom of the list. Isn't there a roster of no roster? For HOs, no roster, you have to be total hours on call. No rosters. No rosters for HOs. Please be ensure that no rosters can be given to HOs. Only then during weekend, you are asking your co-HO to cover up the duties. No rosters for HOs. No allocation of beds, no rosters. I have told the same thing. I am not going to repeat this same information again. You won't be placed to the government service again. You can rejoin to the government service with the approval of the Public Service Commission, and you will be placed in the bottom of the list. Leave for wedding during internship, saying more than 14 days, you have to repeat. And you have to take the leave with the approval of your consultant and the head of the institution, and with the appropriate cover up. Any leave is like that. RHO maternity leave, you are entitled for any maternity leave after the RHOs. I think leave has most of the questions. Roshan, that this thing is getting delayed. I will complete this thing and give the Roshan. I think we will leave the questions after. Yeah, I will complete within 10 minutes and answer the questions also at the latter half.
Sir, are we going for a break or we're going
to? Just wait a moment. I have 3 more slides. I will complete them and.
Right, sir. Sure. Okay, sir.
So any leave, prior to obtaining any leave, arrangement of cover-up is a must. Should maintain the contactability to be reported back to duty in emergency. Should be informed or requested by the superiors. Should be approved by the superiors, that is your head consultant at the head of the institution. And approving officer has the right to cancel the leave at any moment. Then general, you have to use the appropriate application forms. General 125, General 126, you will learn them once you are at the hospital. Then promotion, confirmation and promotions. I will answer all the questions at the latter half of my presentation because this is getting delayed for your break. So as the promotion, once you become an intern, then you will be promoted to preliminary grade, grade 2, grade 1. You will then either go to administrative grade or the specialist grade. Then in the administrative grade, you can go to either a deputy administrative grade, senior administrative grade, deputy director general grade, and director general of health services. And one thing someone has asked about the qualification for joining the administrative grade. So you can see in the next slide. Yeah, intern medical officer. You have to be MBBS with a provisional registration with the Sri Lanka Medical Council. That is section 29 to become an intern medical officer. Preliminary grade, completed the internship and full registration with the Sri Lanka Medical Council. So that's why I told you the preliminary grade appointment date will be the date of full registration with Sri Lanka Medical Council. And because of that, if your internship is delayed, your full registration date will be delayed and your preliminary grade appointment will be delayed. So grade 2, one of the most important exam after your MBBS is the EBA exam. You have for you to become grade 2 medical officers, you have to pass the EBA exam with E-code, accounts, hospital management, and language proficiency within 3 years of appointment, and you have to complete satisfactory service after 2 years of after internship. So if you have entangled in a disciplinary inquiry, you are not entitled for satisfactory service. If you don't pass your EBA examination, then also you don't entitled for grade 2 promotion. Once you don't become a grade 2 MO, you can't even go to a consultant grade, even if you are after doing the postgraduate examination. Even after postgraduate examination, if you haven't passed the EBA exam, you are not entitled to promoted to consultant grade, right? So make sure that EBA is the most important exam after your MBBS, not the postgraduate exam. So grade 1 appointment, grade 1 promotion, satisfactory service for 6 years after grade 2 with the postgraduate qualifications, and satisfactory service after 12 years without postgraduate qualification. So 6 years with postgraduate after grade 2, satisfactory service of 6 years, satisfactory service for 12 years without postgraduate. So even if you are entangled into disciplinary inquiry, even without EBA exam, you can't promotion to grade 1. So deputy administrative grade, grade 1 qualification with administrative post, and 8 years satisfactory service after grade 2. So there's one question, how to become administrator. This is how you can become administrator. After grade 1 qualification, you have to hold administrative post with us 8 years of satisfactory service after grade 2 appointment. And there will be an interview with the formal with the Ministry of Health officials. And during that interview, you have to produce whatever publications you have, whatever the things you have done during that period, whether scientific publications. During that interview, those things will be verified. And at the same time, you have to have grade 1 qualification. That means either you MSc Community Medicine, MSc Medical Administration, no any other grade 1 qualification for the deputy administrative grade. And you have to have 8 years satisfactory service after grade 2 appointment. So it is not a political appointment. Please, if you have anything in your mind, administrators are political appointment, don't think that administrators are not political appointed. Then if you come to a senior grade appointment, you have to have 3 years satisfactory service in the deputy administrative grade. So altogether, you have to spend almost 13 years after your internship to become a senior grade administrator, and you must have, to promote it to the senior grade, you have to either have MSc or MD, medical administration or community medicine without interview. So in order to promote it to the senior grade, you must have either MSc medical administration or MSc community medicine, MD medical administration or MD community medicine with a satisfactory service in the deputy grade for 3 years. So 3 plus 8 is 11, 11 plus 6 is 17, 17 plus 2 here is 19, almost 19 years to become a senior grade administrator with the MSc medical administration or MD medical administration, and you have to face an interview. Yeah, interview they will look at your scientific publications, whether you have done scientific projects, everything should be reviewed at the interview. So that is how you can become a senior grade administrator like RDHS, DDHS or DGHS. So it is not I want to stress that it is not a politically appointed. It is not a political appointment. It is a true, same as your MBBS qualification, and after 19 years of hard work in deputy grade, grade 1 and senior grade appointment. So I hope things are clear to you. Then specialist, postgraduate qualification as per medical service specialist as per in the medical service minute. If you want to become a DDG, senior grade, senior administrative grade, according to seniority and interview, and Deputy Director General is a DDG grade with a cabinet appointment. So these are the things in relation to promotional grades. So privileges at promotions, basic salary increments will be there, increase in salary grades, increase in overtime rates, telecommunication allowance will be increased. After confirmation, you are entitled to vehicle permit, distress loans, research allowance. I want to add here that the overseas leave also. After confirmation, you are entitled for overseas leave as well. Administrative grade, you will get an administrative allowance, but without any, you can't do private practice if you are in an administrative grade. So these are the things in relation to privileges or motions. Issues related to confirmation, incomplete documentation in the personal file, that is one reason. Initiating disciplinary inquiry process, investigation or disciplinary order, as I mentioned you last time in the previous slides, and not passing the EBA examination. The EBA is the most important exam for you, right? If you haven't passed the EBA within 3 years of date of appointment, you are not confirmed in the service, no increments to the salary after 2 years, you are not getting the pension, no vehicle permit or research allowance, less overtime rates, placed in the lowest positions in the trainee transfer list because you will be still in the preliminary grade, and there's a pretty risk of premature retirement due to inefficiency. So these are the heap of drawbacks if you are not completed your EBA exam, right? So personal file was an important thing in your career. So these are red things. I wanted to highlight these red color components. These are actively produced by you to the personal file, because the subject clerk who is maintaining the personal file cannot get these certificates without your contribution, like birth certificate, educational certificate, medical report, affidavit to the loyal to the government, declaration of the income, widowers and orphans pension fund scheme, WNOP number, marriage certificate and birth certificates of children, and duty assuming letters of each station. Remember these 5, 7, 8 documents you must actively produce to the subject clerk in order to your personal file to be complete. If your personal file is not complete, you are not entitled for confirmation. So please remember that, right? Then things regarding maintaining personal file. There will be two personal files, one main file at the Ministry of Health, depending on your category, TCS, CC or CB branch. If you are a consultant or administrator or intern, it will be at the TCS. If you are a just medical officer, it will be at TC branch. And in the postgraduate people, it will be either TCS or CB branch. So that is the simply where the personal file is. Then there will be a skeleton file at the working institution. And one important advice I want to give you is that from the beginning of your career, try to maintain a shadow personal file by yourself, because we have come across few incidents that personal files are lost. So you can't trace the document at all. It will be a very, very difficult process to complete your personal file. So try to maintain a shadow personal file with the available documents for yourself. And once you reported to your duty in any station, make sure that you make an endorsement in the duty reporting register, a book kept at the office of the head of the. So when you go to an institution, make an endorsement at the duty reporting register, book kept at the head of the institution. Make sure you submit the duty reporting letter to the subject clerk through the head of the institution. Make sure that the head of the institution send a letter to the main file and skeleton file. So make sure that your duty reporting letter is sent to the Ministry of Health and the skeleton file, and make sure your skeleton file, leave and salary particulars, take a copy for yourself are sent to the previous station, unless your salary won't be adjusted within the next month. So these are the things that you should remember. Maintain a shadow personal file. Once you reported to duty in any station, make sure you make an endorsement in the duty reporting register. You submit a duty reporting letter, keep a copy for yourself, and make sure that head of institution send a letter to the main file and the skeleton file, and make sure your skeleton file, leave and salary particulars are sent to the previous station as soon as possible. So that's all. We can have a brief break for 15 minutes. Roshan, what is the time?
So it's 11 o'clock.
11 o'clock. I will put this 11 o'clock, 11:15. We will come back. Okay. I will put this.
Sorry, 11:08 rather.
So 11.
So 11:10. So we'll start at 11:20.
11:20. I will post this knowledge check Google form to the chat box. We will see how many of you will complete this, and we'll discuss the answers at the. So we can see how many people are present even. Then if someone is here, we will answer the question. No, we will wait until 10 minutes and answer the question and see whether how much you fare with the question and answer session even. So we will have a break for 10 minutes.
Start at 11:20. We'll start. 10 minutes break.
Yeah. Until then, you can answer the Google link question also.
Thank you, sir.
Prashant, shall we start?
Yes, sir, please. Yes.
Okay. One thing, there are a few questions to be answered.
Yep.
Yeah, EBASH, yeah, let's see this one. Can we delay the internship and reapply for internship for another 6 months? I think it's better to be answered by Director TCS. I think they will be put to the end of the merit list of internship. If you postpone your internship, as far as I know, but please get a clarification from Director TCS. Then EBA should be done within 3 years. Yes, 3 years. Although it has to be once it is completed 3 years, it will be backdated and it will be granted within 2 years of post-intern appointment. Vehicle permit, yes. Then vehicle permit issue. You have to contact the government for that. Then how are the post-intern appointed? Either curative or preventive sector will the post-interns? Yes, post-intern can be appointed to some of the MOHs. It's totally depend on the merit list. The post-intern appointments will be, vacancies will be notified in the website. So according to seniority, people can apply. So if you have enough merit and if it is in the higher up in your choice preferences, you can get a preventive sector appointment. But usually what we have seen is that usually preventive sector appointments are less, less less popular among interns. Even for lower merits, the preventive sector appointments are available. So that is just an observation. No, postgraduates done in Spain are not entitled for Sri Lanka, only PGIM, because that is what is given in medical services minute. Medical services minute describes all the qualifications that are entitled for specialist in Sri Lanka. So Spain, it is not possible. Postpone internship, I think you have to inform the post-intern postponement as soon as possible, but please get that information from the Director TCS. RHO period, yes, you can get the full quota of maternity leave during RHO period. The maternity leave can be no worries in getting maternity leave in RHO period. No worries. You are entitled to full quota, whatever you want. If delayed internship, yeah, it's totally depend on the approved, whether you are having the approved leave or non-approved leave. If you are having a non-approved leave from Ministry of Health and Sri Lanka Medical Council, then you will be bottom of the list. And at the same time, if you have approved maternity leave, approved leave from Sri Lanka Medical Council, your merit won't be changed. But only thing that if the delayed internship goes beyond and the post-internship is given prior to your internship completion, then nothing can be done, because then you are not entitled for post-intern appointments. So that will be the issue. So if the post-intern appointments are given as soon as the internship completion, then people who have delayed their internship won't be able to join that post-intern batch. So that is the issue. Then confirmation of the service is 9 months. Only thing is that this one, the maternity leave period is excluded for grade 1 and grade 2. The problem is this: your full registration date will be the preliminary grade appointment date. So once this preliminary grade appointment is delayed, the grade 2 appointment will be from the 2 years from your preliminary grade appointment date. So issue will be that your grade 2 invariably delayed because of your delayed internship date. So that's the issue. Although you can stay in the same merit list for post intern appointment, but when it comes to the grade 2 appointment, grade 2 appointment is from 2 years from preliminary grade appointment date. So if the full registration date is delayed, your grade 2 appointment, preliminary grade appointment is invariably delayed, and your grade 2 appointment date is also delayed. So you can't change that. That's the issue. After completing internship trip for 2 to 3 days, yes. So during RHO period, you can accumulate the leave. You say you have completed three months of RHO period, then you can accumulate 6 days of leave. You can take that 6 leave and go abroad with the approval. But up to 9 months, you can get up to 18 days of leave with pay, and you can accumulate that leave and go abroad. Yes, RHO period, you can transfer to another hospital if you get the approval of Director TCS. Temporary attachment are given. Post interns, yes. Against their will. Yeah, if you make the preference, if you mark the preferences for MOH, then if your preferences are exhausted due to your merit list, then you can be appointed to MOH without your will, because it is against your will. You can be appointed if your preferences are exhausted, if you are lower down in the merit list. No, whether you do internship in base hospital, teaching hospital, or whatever the location, your intern, there won't be any effect on internship. But only thing that I think some of the foreign employment and foreign local postgraduates it is required that you do the post internship in that specific specialty. That of course you have to look into. MD part 1 usually 1 year after post intern. Diplomas done in foreign countries are not entitled to salary increase or rejoin to the government service, because any foreign degrees are not mentioned in the Sri Lanka Medical Service Minute. Only qualifications mentioned in the Sri Lanka Medical Service Minute are entitled to go to grade 1 or specialist grade. Date of confirmation and preliminary registration. Yes, it is two different things. Preliminary grade appointment is correspond to the full registration date of Sri Lanka Medical Council. Confirmation is 9 months after your post-intern appointment. If we get maternity leave RHO period, no delays will be there. If you get a maternity leave during RHO period, there will be no delays in grade 2. Already you are, once you become RHO, there is no preliminary grade appointment because you are already in the preliminary grade. RHO is a preliminary grade. Yeah, couple can easily get the post-intern appointment in the same station. When you are applying for post-intern appointment, you can mention that you wish to stay in the same place. If the places are available according to your merit, you can easily get the appointment in the same place. What are the recovery methods to those who are lower down in the merit list? Absolutely nothing. Nothing if you can't change the merit list at all. Regarding this second language allowance, yes, second language examination affecting the salary increases, because the language allowance will be given only to those who are having this qualification, and at the same time to become confirmation, confirmation in the service, you have to have this second language proficiency. So you must have this second language proficiency. Yes. So in order to be promoted in your grades, you must have second language proficiency. Until the exposure for MD, you can, if not get medicine for internship appointment, you can do it in the RHO period, I think. It is considered for MD department, but please check with the Postgraduate Institute of Medicine. First, do we have to do respective internship appointment to do respective postgraduate? For certain, you must check with the PGIM, because some postgraduate pre-qualification have mentioned as you must do internship in that specialty. So just check with the postgraduate PGIM. How to get the second language proficiency? There are exams by the National Language Department. We have to. That is a lengthy thing to discuss. Either you can there are. I mean, I don't want to mention that. I think GMOA is conducting second language proficiency program, and at the same time there are exams conducted by the Department of National Languages or something. රාජ්‍ය භාෂා දෙපාර්තමේන්තුව කියලා එකක් තියෙනවා. ඒකේ තියෙන exams, you can do those exams. At the same time there are I don't know whether that GMOA conducted language proficiency courses are available now. You have to check with the GMOA, or otherwise you can go for this language proficiency exams conducted by Official Languages Department. Just check with their website. Yeah, internship is affecting your whole career. Even if you do postgraduate, if the same postgraduate person is within your batch, say merit order second and merit order third is in the have become consultant physicians, then second one has the advantage. So whole career it will have effect. Tamil credit pass, I think it's equivalent to second language if you are a single language person. I mean, if you have done O-level Sinhala language is equal if your primary language is Tamil. O-level Tamil is O-level Tamil credit is okay for Sinhala language, primary language. So that is how it will go. Yeah, postgraduate, it will affect if you have, as I've told you, the same person, same 2% in the same batch having higher merit list have advantage on postgraduate. English is not considered as a second language, but English is not considered as a second language. Ordinary level C and advanced level language are considered for second language allowance, yes. But for Sinhala people, you have to have either Tamil or Tamil. For Sinhala and Tamil, if you have for Sinhala and Tamil, for both, if you have credit in O level, it is considered as the second language. Yes, you can select pediatrics and in-and-outs in the RHO period, but it's totally depending on your head of the institution and how they are allocating you during the RHO period. Medical issues treatment, can we apply to change in the intern placement? Yes, there are. You can get a change in the internship placement, but you have to speak with the Sri Lanka Medical Council and the TCS director, because they are the one who are doing that. Even after completing MD, yes, as I told you, if the two people are in the same batch, the higher merit order will have an influence in the transfers. RHO period, shouldn't we do the same subject for 1 year? That's totally depend on your RHO allocation and your merit. So it's totally depending on your institution. Right, okay, I think during transfers, I think your merit will have an effect in MD. Yes, ERPM merit list is considered separately to the local graduates in the internship and post-intern appointments. I think I will go to the next slide. So I'm sharing the results. Prashant, I think you can see this, no? So good. You have almost, there are 957 responses, and most of you have correctly mentioned internship is a training attachment, but few considered it, no, it is not a training attachment, which is false. So most of you got correct. And diary must be maintained. Yes, good. Most of you got it correctly, but very few. About 12 has got it incorrect, but make sure that this 12, make sure that your diaries must be maintained during the internship. Make sure that you do it. Otherwise, you will get entangled your internship for disciplinary inquiry. Then again, this
The
is
daily
false.
basis.
Yes, daily basis. Yes, diary daily basis. So these 12 people who have answered incorrectly, please make sure that correct yourself. Then maternity leave, most have done correctly, which is false, but few have mentioned that you may not lose the seniority in grade 2 promotion. It is false. 78 have said that you won't lose your seniority. It is not the fact. You will lose the seniority at 2 promotion. Then good that everyone knows that they can't engage in private practice, and almost everyone mentioned that you have to have arranged cover up during week, every other weekend during an internship. Good, thank you. Then I will go to the my next presentation. Yeah.
So can you stop for accepting responses in the Google Sheets, sir?
Okay.
Because we know how many participating now, others will answer later. That's good.
Okay, there are 969 responses. Good.
Yes. So there are about 1,400 this time for internship.
Okay, then 500 missing. Okay. Then I think I will quickly go through the rest of my presentation. It's mainly about what administrators expect from an intern. So although you may think this is not important, for us this is the most important part. So I will go through some basic insight into your internship as my administrator. So I'm going to talk to you about the rational prescribing and ordering of investigations, time management, medical documentation, continuous professional development, teamwork, patient safety, and quality. So brief things about this. Then there are a few things that take home messages. The quality and safety, kindness, empathy. If you consider the market or the customer, so your patients, maintain your diary, time management. Consider that doctor is a part of a team. Then continuous professional development, prescribing of investigation, review your performance during your internship as well. Consider the cost of healthcare and medical documentation. I will answer all the questions at the end of this. Otherwise, it's getting little delay. So we will look into first one, national prescribing investigations. So if you consider rational prescribing, you think that although we are consider it's free health, who will bear the cost? Ultimately, public money. The cost of drugs, consumable, investigations, all are public money, taxpayers' money. So there is nothing called free health. So free, someone has to bear the cost. In 2017, almost 38 billion rupees was spent on medical supplies. Every year it is gradually increasing, and therefore when you are in the internship, or try to review drug charts daily. I mean, especially the antibiotics. Sometimes it will go for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, since you are not reviewing your drug chart. So daily review of drug chart is important, and then ordering of investigation. That just don't order in cocktail of investigations, but try to direct your investigation to the working diagnosis and ensure that you order whatever the necessary. Then the gloves. So if you want to wipe something, some people are using sterile gloves. So I mean, choose what the real gloves you want. Sterile gloves are expensive. Disposable gloves are not expensive. So PP in COVID. So those things are really important. Lot of money is about 40 million per day is cost for PP. And ultimately now, think about this current economic crisis, and most of the people have to buy uh, uh, drugs. Maybe most of the people have to buy drugs from outside, investigations done from outside. So think about people's hardship and current economic crisis when you become an intern and when you are ordering investigation and drugs. Then second part, maintain your diary. I have already mentioned, and then second part is the time management. So of course, you as an intern, you will be, I mean, every day on call without any time for other things. Unlike your now relaxing period, there are maybe very few time for you to relax. But if you can manage your time efficiently and effectively, you can do many things during your internship. For example, try to always make a plan and set priorities and get organized. Try to develop this urgent, important matrix. I will describe this in your next slide. And especially avoid procrastination. You must not procrastinate important work, urgent and important, as well as important work. Even if it is non-urgent, if it is important, don't postpone your work. At the same time, one other good way to time management is learn to say no for things that you can't do. That is another skill that you should inculcate. Learn to say no. How to say no to a person without antagonizing other person. Then organize your work area so there will be less time for you to search. Make a list of tasks each day and prioritize this list. Keep a calendar handy at all times. Avoid time waster like telephone calls, Facebook, social media, those things. Try to avoid as much as possible. Do not wait until last minute and rush through a job. Complete it correctly at the first time. So if you try to rush it, you may not be able to do it correctly at first time. So don't rush it. Do it leisurely and correctly at the first time. So don't wait until last minute. Set aside each day to address all communication at once. For example, if you are receiving some referrals, communications, other words, whatever the thing, try to look at those at least once a day. And do not afraid to ask help. There are so many people around you, registrars, SHOs, nurses, your supportive staff, your colleagues. So if you are in a difficulty, don't afraid to ask for help. So these are the few things, and this is the urgent, important matrix. So there are certain things that are urgent and important. There are certain things non-urgent and important. At the same time, there are urgent but non-important things. Certain things non-urgent, non-important things. Let's see what are these. So this is how to do this. Say some crisis, medical emergencies. So you need to manage them for yourself. Urgent and important tasks, must do it for yourself. You can't do anything else. You have to do it. Like firefighting, whatever that you control the situation and you can ask somebody else to support you. At crisis, emergencies, you have to do it for yourself. And there are certain things which are urgent but not important. Say that you need to get the investigation from laboratory. It may not be an urgent investigation. For that kind of thing, you can ask your supportive staff, can you please bring me this urgent investigation from the laboratory? Or you can ask nursing officer to give a call and get the results. So you can delegate certain things. Say if the thing is urgent, but it is not your task and it can be done by any person, it is not important. And if it is urgent, you can ask someone to do it, ask for you. It's a delegation. Then other thing, the non-urgent but important thing, your relationship, health, planning, reflection, your life, your time with girlfriend or a boyfriend or spouse or whatever, family, whatever the things are, those things are non-urgent but important. So set aside a time for that. Focus on those, set aside a time, because you have to maintain your work-life balance as well, like health, friends, fun, family, work. So work-life balance is also important. So set aside the time and plan those activities ahead. So say you are having next weekend off, plan those activities. What are you going to do? So, but better avoid procrastination. Don't delay them. So that's the important message. Don't do purposefully or continuously delay these non-urgent important tasks. And these are time wasters. Non-urgent, social media, teledrama, unnecessary phone calls, everything is non-important. You can do it, delay them as these are things to do whenever your time permits. So this is the main thing. And one other thing, your smartphone. Now smartphone can be really useful tool for your time management. So you can add reminders, you can add contact lists, you can add WhatsApp groups, document access like guideline access, those various things you can do with your smartphone. Reading material, education, maybe shopping, travel, those things are not in your list even, but this grouping, reading, communication, education, commitments, arrange and prioritize task lists, everything is important. So that is use your smartphone wisely to make your time rather than spending it on social media. So then few things, medical documentation, one other important thing. Simple message, if it is not recorded, it has not been done. So if whatever the task you have done, you have may have done heap of work. If you are not recorded in the BHT bed rate ticket, it is implied that you are not done. So if it is not recorded, it has not been done. So what are the things you need to record it? Ward investigation, history, writing during ward rounds, writing referrals, responding to referrals, medical notes in clinic, over the phone instructions, retrospective medical notes. Even if you have resuscitated a person and you have done everything, and make sure that you record the medical notes retrospectively as much as possible. So whatever you done, at least you record it retrospectively. Then diagnose medical certificates on discharge. Those are very important because they are the continuity of care documents. End of life decisions, if you have do not resuscitate decision, confirming deaths, everything is important. And within the hospital, there may be transfers between wards, ward and ICU, ward and theatre, ward and radiology, or special procedures. So all these things are inter-hospital transfers. So make sure that correct information, correct allergy records, correct history, correct, for example, if the person is going to contrast, whether he's having allergies, whether he's having contrast nephropathy, whether he's having impaired renal function, everything should be recorded correctly. Otherwise, patient will suffer. And at the same time, inter-hospital transfers like between hospitals, when you are transferring patient from one institution to another, make sure that everything is recorded perfectly because to ensure the continuity of care. So writing the date and time is important aspect. When you are making records, make sure that you write the date and time. It may matter matter immensely when you are entangled into disciplinary inquiry or medical negligence case. So writing the date and time is very useful. Writing and identifying the person and enable you that who wrote this is very important. Rather than just identifying through handwriting is extremely difficult. So using abbreviation, I'll tell you an example. Once I was doing an inquiry, there was a in the note in the BHT, abdomen, erect abdomen X-ray, and there was a FF. So the consultant who was with me see that this person has identified free fluid in the erect abdomen X-ray, but he hasn't informed the consultant. So we were lengthy inquiring the person, thinking that he has done some mistake. But do you know what is FF means for him? FF means form filled. So see, we were thinking that he has missed the free fluid in the abdomen. So make sure that you are using the correct abbreviation as well. At the end, at the same time, correct diagnosis to BHT, to the record room, do it nicely, because ultimately everything depends on that. Then writing the diagnosis card, medical certificates and death certificates. Everything is important because they will ensure the continuity of care for the patient as to prevent any litigations and medical negligence issues. So medical documentation is very important. There is a recent circular issued by the Director General of Health Services. Roshan, if possible, try to get that circular. I don't have it, the most recent one. Okay. Then next one, continuous professional development. So another important thing, don't think that your medical career is over because now you have passed your MBBS. Right? Don't think that your medical career is over. Don't think that your medical career is over just because you have passed your internship. So it's an obligation to update your knowledge throughout your career, because knowledge from basic training may outdate, because it is rapidly changing due to epidemiological demographics. Medical students, we don't have CT scan and MRI. So now every hospital, almost every teaching hospital, every district hospital is having CT scan. So technology changes. So it's rapidly changing. You have to change, adapt to the most updated current evidence-based medicine to patient care. Otherwise, you will either lose your way, and at the same patient will have a harm because you are not treating him according to the most evidence-based care. Finally, think you are a part of a team. It's a very important interprofessional collaboration. There will be a lot of people to help you during the internship, nurses, supportive staff, your consultant, head of the institution, a lot of people. So everyone is, make sure that you work as a team. Your attitudes, values, beliefs are really important in adjusting the team according to your will, according to your wish. These days, people are not respecting if they are not respected to you. If you don't respect to other people, don't expect respect from others. So make sure that your values, attitudes, beliefs, everything is in accordance to the teamwork, to enhancing the teamwork. Right? So teamwork is an important consideration. Then empathy, quality, and safety. Another thing. Before I go to the next slide, I will give you another voting chance, but only 5 minutes. I'll put this into the chat box. Within 5 minutes, you can answer these. Answer this, and while you are answering, I will answer some questions here. I'll give you 5 minutes. Yeah, but can we join to research during internship? Absolutely, yes. Totally, you can engage in research. If you are engaging in research, get the ethical clearance if possible. If the ethical clearance is needed, get the ethical clearance. If not, if your consultant is doing research, try to help them and you will learn a lot. Yes, great if you can engage in research. I myself did in a research during my internship with my consultant, extrapulmonary TB. Yes, of course you can. Yeah, documentation ward work. I think ask Dr. Roshan to arrange it because I just gave you an overview. Sorry, I don't have a lot of time for this. And at the same time, there is a recent circular by the Director General of Health Services. It gives very clear instruction on how to do the documentation. Get that, ask Dr. Roshan to send it for you. I have seen that in the website, but I couldn't download it because I'm not in the ministry now. So try to get that circular from Dr. Roshan. Written consent, yes, certain things written consent are important because especially if you consider foreign countries, written consent is must for every procedure. But for Sri Lanka, it is not very robust system is there for the written consent. But before surgery and before any procedure, it is must to get the written consent to avoid later medical negligence or privacy issues or confidentiality issues or whatever. But only thing that we don't have any forms now at the government hospital. At least you just ask the person to explain the procedure and write the procedure details in the BHT and get his guardian signature. So it is not always written consent is needed. I say person is visiting you means that there is a certain amount of implied consent is there. But for extra procedures, extra theater procedures, it is must to get the written consent. When our internship start, you have to get it from the TCS director. Yeah, RHO period, you can ask for a temporary attachment. You don't need to stay in the same place, but it's totally depend on the availability of medical officers in the respective institution. Join faculty, yes, even if you join the faculty and later request to join the government service, same procedure will apply. You have to go to the Public Service Commission, and if the Public Service Commission gives you the directive to appointed in the bottom of the merit list, then the same procedure. So I think we have finished our the polling. Let's see how much of you have answered. So these are the answers. 570 have answered. I will stop accepting the responses now. Is it okay? I will wait another 1 minute. Okay, I'll stop the responses now. or either just describe it and stop it. So you can see the almost 53 point is satisfied with the Sri Lankan health system. Good. Then about 128 says that they don't wish to go to Sri Lanka. Yes, 100. So very few people might stay in Sri Lanka, it seems. No, about 20% will definitely stay in Sri Lanka. About 15% will definitely go. Maybe 35-40%. 30% not decided. So only almost 18 to 20% has decided to stay in Sri Lanka. So Sri Lankan health system, most of you are satisfied with the Sri Lankan health system. Good. Only half of to a quarter of you are not satisfied. Good. Let's see why. Well organized service, free healthcare delivery, free of charge. Politics may be the other way. Yes, free, organized, low medical negligence. Good. Yeah. Thank you for answering that. I will stop it now. I think it has come to a whole standstill. Yeah, good. Whatever the thing is good that you have answered these questions. I will then I will share the screen for the rest of my presentation. Yeah. So yeah. So are you satisfied with our health system? Some people have answered no. Why no? Because of this reason. Health system. If you ask outside person, government hospital, government school, government bus, government job is like this. Why is that? We are not providing what people are expecting from us. So you may be thinking that you are giving everything to them. Good care, everything, but there are few things that we are missing. Communication, caring, environment, so those things. I'm not going to tell you a lot of things regarding this. So you see a lot of work we are doing, free health service, as you mentioned, lot of things. See how much total outpatients we have seen in 2018, 57 million. About 3 times of our whole population we have seen outpatients. Can you imagine how much workload we are doing despite the free health service? And we have measles free, rubella free, malaria free, filariasis free, neonatal tetanus free. Lot of things we have eradicated. So what do people expect from us? So quality, responsiveness, communication, safety. So try to address those things when you become an intern house officer, because you are the first contact for most of the patients in Sri Lanka. Provide them quality service, responsive service, communicate them clear and care in nature, and at the same time ensure their safety. Ensure their safety. How safe are we? How safe are we? Say this is US healthcare. You can see the US healthcare. Healthcare is more dangerous than bungee jumping. Healthcare is more dangerous than bungee jumping. You know what is bungee jumping, no? Tying a knot around your feet and jumping over a height. So healthcare is much more dangerous than bungee jumping. Can you imagine? So it is very dangerous to come to hospital than bungee jumping. It's assumed that in 2000, about 44,000 people died in US healthcare due to patient safety incident. That is approximately 42,000 to 98,000. That is crashing a jumbo jet every day. Imagine if you heard a story of crashing 320 passengers of jumbo jet every day. It's like crashing jumbo jet every day. So even US healthcare is not safe. Can you imagine the Sri Lankan healthcare? With all the sophisticated system, US is the one of the highest spending healthcare system in the world. Even in US, people are dying like 320 people are dying each day due to preventable errors due to healthcare. That is just due to coming to hospital. So how to avoid? Root cause analysis. So patient safety, I'll give you brief introduction to patient safety. Patient safety is prevent adverse event errors and near misses. Simply patient adverse event errors and near misses. What is an error? Error is a failure of planned action to complete or use of wrong plan to achieve the aim. For example, needle prick injuries, medication errors, prescribing allergic drug. For example, say that patient is, you forgot to ask, the planned action is, you must ask the allergy on the admission. If you fail to ask the allergy history, then you have failure of planned action to complete. It's an error. You forgot, for whatever the reason, you forgot to ask the allergy history and prescribe an allergic drug. So it's an error. After that, near misses. Serious mishap, error or a mishap that has a potential to cause the adverse event but fails to do so due to chance. So what is that? Patient falls without injury. Now you have prescribed these allergy drugs, and before allergy drug is given to the patient, maybe nurse or any other person may ask the drug allergy history from the patient. Despite prescribing, due to chance, the patient was not given the allergic drug. It is near miss. Right? Then part is the adverse event. That is, ultimately drug is given to the patient and anaphylaxis reaction is occurred and injury related to medical management in contrast to complication of the disease. All these things can be contributed to patient safety. So as an intern, you must prevent adverse event, errors and near misses. So these are some of the incidents that happened in Sri Lanka. If time permits and Roshan let me show you some videos. I will show you some videos at the end and tell how grateful, how diverse the situation is. This is twin pregnancy, mother with a twin pregnancy, maternal death, and ultimately father left with 2 children without a wife and 2 children without a mother in a Sri Lankan hospital. Say wrong side surgery. It's a famous incident where law student from Matara lost upper limb. Ultimately, Ministry of Health had to pay billions of rupees for compensation. So please try to avoid these kind of incident as much as possible. So how to get it done? The root cause analysis. I'm not going to tell you more details about root cause analysis because you just learn it. I will send this presentation. Try to learn it because time is not allowing us to go into detail of root cause analysis. Try to read these articles and get the information about root cause analysis. So ultimately, final last message. There is a gratitude to pay to society, to your life, for the contribution the people have made to you. Because from birth until your death, you are getting something from the society. Until you are having the chance to repay back to society is when you work. Very few time from 20, say you join the Ministry of Health about 30 years, you do your work until 60 years, about 30 years. Rest of the time you are getting certain things from your society. During pension, during education, during schooling, everything you are getting something from the society. So chance to repay back the society is when you work. So pay the gratitude to society for the contribution given to your life. So internship, once in a lifetime experience, you are molding into a professional, from a training attachment to a professional. There will be wonderful and fruitful learning experience. Learn through reflection and treasure it with wonderful memories and enjoy it. All the best. Thank you. If Prashant permits me, I will show you some videos. someone has said no Medicare, no healthcare policy of USA. Yes, that may be the reason, but even with that, that is not the reason for this patient safety incident. A patient fall from a bed, committed suicide. Yes, there is a certain degree of responsibility on your part as well. Then USA having that issue because they have no insurance policy thing. No, even with the insurance policy, not that this is not the insurance policy related thing. You may be have mistaken. This is after admission due to patient care, not due to before getting the admission. This is not due to that. This is once the patient is admitted and during the care, this is happening. So that is the issue. This is the issue. This is not due to insurance, that people are not dying on the road, but they come to the hospital and ultimately they die due to medical management. The things that I have mentioned, either planned action not happen, either near misses, either adverse event, not due to not coming to the hospital. So this is not related to insurance in USA. This is pure and simple due to medical negligence. Then other thing, practice of evidence defense medicine. Yes. Yeah. One thing, Sri Lankan people are really nice. If you work in Australia, if you work in USA, consultants, medical officers are in real pressure. You know, I'll tell you a story. When I was working for some time in Singapore, patient came to a angioplasty. The consultant just asked him whether you got some money, got enough money to pay the this procedure. Patient got the things done and went back and sued the consultant. The consultant has disrupted my mentality in the theatre bed. Ultimately, he won the case. So you can imagine Sri Lankan people are really nice. You are working with really nice set of people. So pay the gratitude to them. They have given immense support during your learning, during your education, during as a medical student. So lot of things they have given to you. So give back the same to these patients. Written consent, I have to answer that question. You need to get the written consent if you are subjecting to procedure. Since Roshan is not here, I will give some, I will show you some videos of medical negligence. Let's see whether I can.
Sir?
Roshan, yes, I'm going to finish this. I don't know whether this, I can't show the videos, so we will just wind up. Now the time is also.
So when you're sharing, you have to, there is this share sound and optimize video for clip.
Okay.
It's coming.
So this is Prashant Penunal.
Make pain sound. So
It's okay. It's okay.
සර් මට මේල් කාඩ් මම මේන් ෂෙයා කරන්නද? අමාරුනේ
Ah,
කරන්න. මේල්
එච්චර
කාඩ්
ලොකු
පුළුවන්
එකක්
නේ සර්?
ඕනේ.
ලොකු වැඩියද නේ?
වැඩි. කමක් නෑ, we will stop it. It's okay.
ඒක සර් ඕපන්
there are-
නෑ හරියට අර ප්ලේයර් එක.
ඒක තමයි can't. It's okay. We were now. Time is also over.
Okay. Yeah. The time is there, sir.
Are they having another lecture?
No, sir. We are only today's second lecture විතරයි. Only your lecture.
Then just wait a moment.
මම දන්නේ නෝනාට කිසිම අසනීපයක් තිබුණේ නැහැ. මට මේ වෙච්ච දේට මට දරු
වීඩියෝ එක පේන්නේ නැහැ, sir.
හරි.
ඒකේ සර් යට තියෙනවා share sound optimize for video clip අන්න ඒ දෙකත් ක්ලික් කරන්න වේවි සර් මන්ට.
ඒක දැම්මත් එන්නේ නෑ රොෂාන්. ඒකේ. It's okay. අපි නවත්තමු, කමක් නෑ.
දැන් ආව සර්. පොඩක් ඉන්න සර් page එක පේන්නේ. Okay.
මට මේ වෙච්ච දේට මට දරුවෝ 5 දෙනෙක් ඉන්නවා.
නේද?
වීඩියෝ එක පේන්නේ නැහැ. blank sheet එකක් කියන්නේ සර්. සද්ද එනවා.
කමක් නෑ. මේ අපි we will just wind up it.
සර් share කරනකොට ඒක පල්ලෙහා තියෙනවනේ sound share and optimize for video clips ඒ දෙක ක්ලික් කරාද?
ඔව්.
අර මේ share screen එකේ
ෂූටක් ඉන්න විනාඩි දෙකක් පොඩ්ඩක් මේ අප්ඩේට් එක. Any questions you want to ask? Do you know any way to know about vacancies available in each hospital for interns for different subjects? I don't think that it's a TCS question. As interns, how to write medical certificates and
So this is one of the pre-interns from this group. I
Yes.
just wanted to help you regarding the screen share.
yeah,
When you initially press the green button, screen share, there you have the option of sharing the whole screen.
just wait a moment.
Share desktop view or something like that.
Share desktop.
Yeah,
Share sound is there. Share optimize.
not on the bottom right corner, in the middle of the big white box which appears.
Let's see this one.
so there is on the advanced as basic and advanced එකේ තියෙන video කියලා තියෙන sir.
Video. Yes.
ඒකේ I think is what he is referring to and share.
Okay.
Yeah, and basic එකේ sir මේ basic එකෙන්ම කරනවා නම් screen කියන එක තමයි ඔබන්න ඕනේ, not any specific app.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Basic he says කියන්නේ අර මේකේ තියෙන
Basic screen. Okay.
Yeah, basic screen. It should work. There you go.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Timira.
Okay.
මම දන්නේ නෝනාට කිසිම අසනීපයක් තිබුණේ නැහැ. මට මේ වෙච්ච දේට මට දරුවෝ 5 දෙනෙක් ඉන්නවා. Padaruban na ito sa niyo ko ng mga asagal. May medo terlalu berkeran ni. Mana mo kakaran na tigil mana dito teril.
This is one. Another thing. This is how you can prevent this kind of things. Can you see this?
There are 40,000
Yes.
Okay.
people that work in this enterprise, and there's not one person here who doesn't matter. The reason a patient has a high quality outcome and a safe experience through our health system is because everyone who works at the Cleveland Clinic is committed to their piece of the puzzle.
Patient transportation.
Main entrance. All right.
The patient comes in to see us, they put their lives in our hands.
Good morning, housekeeping.
We're going to be sending you over for an x-ray. What's your date of birth?
You can't talk about quality and great outcomes, which we deliver every day here, if at its foundation we don't have safe care.
Safety for patients and visitors here starts when people set foot on the campus. We feel connected even though sometimes we never see the patients.
Ask questions, double check. You can never be too certain.
Making sure everything is very well sanitized in this hospital.
We have to make sure it's packaged properly, sterilized properly, all the biologicals and parameters have been met on the sterilizer, so that when they go to the end user, they do have a quality product.
Well, we get together as a bigger team before the surgery ever takes place, and we involve the patient as well in that process to make sure that we have the right patient, to make sure that we're doing the right procedure, and that we have the right instruments, we have the right lab studies, we have the right information on the patient.
Specifically looking at falls today. If you're not putting safety first, then you're really kind of missing a huge part of nursing. That is what we do.
And all of us are entrusted with that. You may say, well, they're coming to see a surgeon or they're coming to see a doctor. But the reality is those doctors cannot take care of a patient without everybody else who works here. Think about the job that you have here every day and ask yourself, how do I impact a patient? And I guarantee you, every single person can come up with not just one, but multiple ways that what they do impacts the patient.
A complete medical record is important. To have that information be accurate and at their fingertips will make the patient's visit be the best it can and get the best care they can.
Each menu is created especially for our patients here to reflect their dietary need. Walking in at 7:30 in the morning and knocking and saying food service, they're like, come on in. Just gives you a good feeling.
To make sure that we get correct demographic information for the patients.
All the pieces and parts are there before the patient even gets here.
Reimbursement translates directly to patient care. Dollars don't come in, there's no money to treat patients, and so we want to be able to treat every single patient who needs to be treated.
Any patient that's in the hospital, I treat them how I'd want them to treat my family.
And then make them feel comfortable that they're here, they're going to be cared for, taken care of, that they should not worry. All right, I'm going to lock the wheels up so it doesn't roll away on you here, okay?
Overall, for our size, for our complexity, we have moved miles. It's not good enough just to be doing well in the measure that's out there. We should be defining what a new measure is, taking the care that we give to that extra level of excellence. The standard that's out there is the low bar. It's what they expect everybody to do. But you know what? We're the Cleveland Clinic, and the low bar is not good enough. If all of us could take a pause, ask ourselves, what do I do to make the patient's experience safer, of higher quality, and something we can all be proud of? What can I do to raise my bar, make it a little better for the next patient that I talk to on the phone, or the next patient I walk past in the hallway?
It's all about the patient's safety.
You want people to walk around and say, I know why I work here. I come to work at the Cleveland Clinic every day because we have a mission to heal, and we have a mission to do the right thing every time for a patient, give them a great outcome, and send them back to have a productive life.
Quality and safety starts with me.
If every employee believes and comes to work every day thinking that the patient's safety and the quality of the outcome that that patient gets starts with that employee, we can't go wrong.
So I just want to give you one message, not that technology or anything in the USA, in the Cleveland Clinic, but the attitude. The quality and safety starts with me, and the teamwork they are going to empower in that setting. So that's the two things I want to show you with this video, where the attitude and the teamwork is very important in delivering quality and safe healthcare. So with me, they have mentioned if everyone is thinking how we can raise our bar to make the patient experience better for the next patient that you see. So that is the simple message I just want to tell you. So I hope that message will go into your head and have a wonderful internship that your parents and well-wishers who will be proud of, and at the same time make sure that no patient will be harmed from you. That's the pure and simple message I just want to give you. Thank you.
Right. Thank you very much, sir. That was Dr. Dilantha Dharmagunawardena, consultant medical administrator, currently residing in Australia doing a PhD. So thank you very much, sir, for giving your time and your expert knowledge and wisdom. And share experiences and guiding them on this their career ahead of them. Thank you once again. We will share these recordings in latter part. So any questions we can take in the 1 or 2 minutes and answer if you'll have. I think most of them are asking when is internship. I think most probably end of October. Yes.
That has to be answered by the TCS.
Yeah. There's an intern batch finishing on 27th. So I think most probably once that is completed, they will give.
27th means October.
October, yes, sir. Yeah. Upper batch is finishing. Yeah. Right. So thank you once again, sir. So we'll conclude today's program tomorrow. Thank you, sir. Tomorrow, please join by 7:45. Tomorrow surgery session. So that also be a very important session for you all. Thank you very much.